Ready. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Whitaker Bank Ballpark, home of the Lexington Legends, as tonight we have high school baseball here. It's Frederick Douglass going up against Lexington Bryan Station, and with the call tonight, Darren Douglas and yours truly, Gary Ball. William Warfield, the king of stream, is on the producing end tonight, and it's Frederick Douglass coming in. They're led by, of course, Hayden Hunt, their all-star center fielder. They've got Michael Lowe, and the reason those names are familiar is because they're football players there on that great football team at Douglass.
Yeah, Hunt is actually, when you think about what you need as far as a leadoff hitter, he's going to lead off in the lineup tonight. That's going to be the thing he needs to do is get on base, and that's called the table setter. And you want somebody who's number one, can run. It's also a good heady ball player, and Hunt proved on the football field in the fall that he is just that.
Exactly, and then you look at Bryan Station. They will counter tonight. Bryan Station, Tyler Hawkins is a leadoff guy. He kind of sets the table for them, a 320 hitter, a center fielder. Then you go on down the line, Price, Lynch, Burdette. But it looks like Bryan Station, they're a good offensive ball club. On the season, they've scored some runs, but they don't have a whole lot of power, having any home runs this year.
Well, that can be an issue, but you also need pitchers out there throwing strikes. And just looking through their pitching stats, they are a group that has trouble maybe throwing some first pitch strikes or ending counts and getting people to put the ball in play, whether it be in the air or on the ground, and letting their defense work for them. So they've had some issues with that, but they are always a dangerous group over there at Bryan Station simply because of their athletic ability. Now, both these teams will play a lot of young people too. So when we get into this game underway, our folks out there watching and listening are going to go, he's a freshman? Yeah, there's a whole lot of them in this 11th region that are very good.
Even some 8th graders. The young man pitching tonight for Douglass is an 8th grader pitching. And then you look at Douglass's outfield, Michael Lowe, Hunt, and Key out there. Got a lot of speed in the outfield out there. So Bryan Station hits anything into the alley out there. These young men are going to get to the ball in a hurry and get it back in out there for the Douglass outfield.
Well, in a lot of high school ballparks, you don't have the big alleys or the big expanse in the outfield. And in a ballpark like Whitaker Bank Ballpark, of course, a professional park, it's going to be paramount to have some speed in the outfield, but also that your infielders, especially your middle infielders, your shortstops and your second baseman, are going to have to understand. Now, the fence might be a little bit deeper than it is in most high school ballparks. You've got to go get it, especially in the power alleys and in center field. You've got to go out deeper maybe than you would on your regular home field.
The pitchers for tonight, Bryson Hobbs is going to go on the mound for Bryan Station. He's 3-3 on the season, Darren Douglass, and a young man that really brings a lot to the mound. But I tell you what, I talked to Eddie Brooks earlier today, and he told me about Thomas Howard, the 8th grader. He said the young man just has electricity out there on the mound. Said he's got the best velocity on the baseball team as an 8th grader, has a superb curveball and a slider. Said he's got all the pitches. It just depends on how he handles this big stage here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
Well, that's going to be the big rub. It's also going to be the fact that he's not pitched in a district-style game possibly this season. I don't know what games he started for Coach Brooks, who's been around a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, with velocity, everybody talks about velocity. Well, that's fine. But you got to be able to throw strikes, and then you have to be able to throw some other pitches for strikes. You just can't throw the other pitches and have them in your repertoire and expect to get people out. You've got to be able to throw those breaking pitches, anything off speed. If you got to change up, you got to learn how to throw that. You got to throw those for strikes. Because if you don't, good hitters, even at this level, in the high school ranks, are going to sit red on that fastball and wait for you to throw it. Plus, you got to be able to have some movement on that fastball. You can't have it straight as an arrow. That's what happened to Zach Thompson a couple of weeks ago against Tennessee, the University of Kentucky pitcher, the lefty on Saturday nights. For some reason, his fastball was straight as an arrow, had no movement, and they teed off on him. So we'll see if the young 8th grader can do that. Now, where does he get his velocity from, a lot of people think it's just from your arm and your upper body. No, you have to drive off that pitching rubber. Use that pitching rubber as your friend, and it's all from the waist down.
And you know who did that better than just about anybody I've ever seen at the high school level? You covered this young man too, Clinton Holland in Woodford County. He really used his upper body and kind of drove off that mound, and sometimes he would hit, 92, 93 miles an hour on that fastball?
Well, his first warm-up pitch in the very first game the Jackets played here in 2012, they went on to win the state title. Mike Fields, the longtime high school reporter for the Herald Leader, leaned back at me and looked and goes, Darren, is he a legit 90-plus fastball? Well, he corked one loose. Of course, Clinton had a habit. I didn't tell anybody. The first warm-up pitch he would throw would be about halfway up on the backstop, just to keep the batters a little, is he going to be wild? And he uncorked it, and they looked out at the gun. It said 93, and Mike leaned back and goes, okay.
Yep.
So
the last guy I saw in the 9th region to throw in the 90s, Todd Etler, pitched at Covington Catholic, was drafted into the major leagues, didn't make it to the bigs, but made it up to the AAA level. He could throw it about 93, 94. I tell you what, at the high school level, if you're bringing it at 90, 91, you're bringing it to the plate. That's really hard to catch up to.
To be honest with you, Gary, if you're throwing the upper 80s, you're bringing it. So, that's what you need. But, for young parents out there that want to teach your kid to throw a breaking pitch or anything, I don't recommend that at a very young age. Just don't do it because it puts a lot of stress on your shoulder and your elbow. But if you want to know how to drive off the mound, off the rubber, and use that lower body to generate speed, go back and YouTube Three Gentlemen. And Gary, number one, I'm going to show my age, and one of these guys really well, Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan, and Roger Clemens. Watch those three guys, how they break that back leg down and bring everything towards the mound or towards the plate when they drive off the rubber.
I tell you another one they can pattern themselves off of would be Greg Maddox.
Yes, sir.
The great pitcher. He used to have great mechanics, and it wasn't with him. It wasn't about having a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It was about pinpoint accuracy. He had the pinpoint accuracy, and we hope we see some of that here tonight. Bryan Station and Frederick Douglass, the new kid in town, a 2-year school. They had a great football program. They were ranked number 1 in the state pretty much all season in 6A, and they fell to Scott County in the playoffs. But I tell you what, Louisville Male went on to win the state championship. This was a really good opportunity this year, this past fall, for Douglass to win the state championship. They had all the parts.
Well, they did, but when you got to go through somebody that you've already seen through the year, and somebody who's been around as long as Jim McKee, they're going to come up with a game plan. And they did. Of course, I feel bad for the guys at Douglass. Especially for Coach Landis. I know Coach Landis very well. He made a gut call to go for 2 to win the game instead of kicking the extra point and taking a chance in overtime. But, hey, that's the life of a head coach. And
you really respect him for making that call. So, but Douglass was a powerhouse in football, and Bryan Station, traditionally a good athletic team with of course, football and basketball, and then Douglass out in the same district. In the 42nd district this year, the winner of the 42nd is going to host that first round of the regional at home this year, but the 42nd will be played at Henry Clay High School over off of Fontaine, and that'll be the host of the 42nd. And the 43rd district, which is flat loaded this year with Lafayette, Tates Creek, 2 of the top teams in the state of Kentucky, that will be played at Lafayette High School. The May 20th is the opening date of the district tournaments. We'll have all that action right here on PrepSpin in the 11th region. We'll probably stick with the 42nd and 43rd district, and you'll have the district down there. 41st covered down there in Woodford County. So,
and that'll be the last year, the last sport that Woodford will play in the 11th region.
You see the Bryan Station guys there off the Douglass just took infield Bryan Station out there. Now we'll step out here on PrepSpin.com. Gary Ball with Darren Douglass and William Moorfield, the king of stream. We'll be back here with more pregame at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. It is high school baseball. Bryan Station taking on Frederick Douglass here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, home of the Legends, after this timeout on.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be for generations to come.
Whether you're older
or younger,
or maybe even somewhere in between,
we've got that perfect smile with Invisalign that'll last a lifetime for you.
for you.
for you.
Introducing Convenience Invisalign by Doctors Durbin, Morris, and Garner.
Why would you trust your smile to one of those online do-it-yourself kits?
Our goal is to make your dream smile a reality. Schedule your 3D scan today.
I work really hard, but I'm struggling to pay my bills on time. I've gotten pretty far behind and I don't know what to do.
Is this happening to you? We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
Bankruptcy could be your best solution.
We're here to give you a fresh financial start.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free. In Lexington and now in London.
What's your starting five? How about this one? Mild, hot, Cajun, barbecue, and teriyaki. It's the flavors of Mingua beef jerky, each one handmade from Ronnie Mingy's all-natural recipe using top-quality beef. That's what makes Mingua beef jerky stand out. Take it from me, Tom Leach. Pick up a package today, and if you don't see it, ask for it. And check them out online at minguabeefjerky.com. That's M-I-N-G-U-A beefjerky.com. And go there today to see their newest product, Mingua beef jerky meat sticks in mild, hot, or honey barbecue.
From where you are now to earning your degree, whether you're looking for part-time work or the gateway to a full-time career, you'll get there with UPS. Through the UPS Kentucky Loop program, package handlers will get up to 100% of their tuition paid and housing provided. Great job and great opportunity delivered in one package by UPS. Apply today at upsjobs.com or text LOOP to 33588.
And welcome back to Whitaker Bank Ballpark, and we want to remind you this is the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week. Mingua Beef Jerky, boy, those guys, they do a great job. They make a great product. We love our Mingua Beef Jerky. This is the Mingua Beef Jerky Game of the Week. Gary Ball with Darren Douglas and William Moorfield, the King of Stream here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, the home of the Lexington Legends. The Legends having a pretty good season, Darren. They're, I think, close to first place with the South Division and minor league baseball. They're an affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. And tonight we're having high school baseball, Bryan Station and Douglas. Eddie Brooks used to coach at Bryan Station. Now he's at Douglas High School. I talked to him today, and I tell you what, he's in love with that Kentucky Proud Ballpark at University of Kentucky. He said he got a tour over there a few weeks ago, went through the locker room. There's no better facility in the nation, according to Coach Brooks.
Well, he is kind of partial because he did play
Yeah,
there.
he played there. Yeah, you're right.
But, you know, everybody that's been there, I have not had the opportunity yet to be there.
You've seen a virtual tour,
I've seen a virtual tour of it. Have not seen it in person. My brother guy actually got to put some equipment in there, in the laundry room, actually, to be honest with you. And he said it's just an outstanding stadium. And, you know, Kentucky has struggled, but they lost a lot last year off of last year's team.
Sure did.
You know, you lose 2 of your 3 weekend starters in the pitching rotation, and
I think the biggest loss might have been Evan White.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The White kid, because he was such a great first baseman. And
well, he hit the 2-hole,
oh,
too.
yeah, exactly.
So
I don't think they realized what a loss he was.
He was just a hitting machine. He could, he's one of those guys that can wake up out of bed without even getting a good cup of coffee and going into the batter's box and hit.
And speaking of University of Kentucky, a lot of these young men, especially the freshmen that we're going to see in this game and the underclassmen, they'll be playing. They'll be recruited by the University of Kentucky. I can tell you that right now because Eddie Brooks says there's a lot of young talent out there tonight, Gary, that you're going to see. And we're pleased and glad to bring you this game on PrepSpin.com. The Bryan Station Douglas game. They're very close to each other in proximity. Of course, Winchester Road, right off Winchester Road, Douglas High School, and of course Bryan Station just right out the road here from the stadium here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. And we're happy to bring you this broadcast here tonight, Darren, with the Bryan Station coming in with 6 wins on the season. They haven't played a whole lot of games. I noticed their schedule; they've only played 18 ball games so far. And you look at you look at this Douglas group; they've played a total of 28 games already.
Well, and it depends, too, on your field, what kind of shape it's kept in. And as everybody knows, in Lexington, it could be raining here at Bryan Station. At Lafayette, be dry as a bone.
Yep.
So, just proximity, stuff like that. I remember as a youngster, a little leaguer, playing at Garden Springs right off of Alexandria over there, and just a couple of blocks up from that, over at Chilito, it was Guns N' Roses raining. I mean, it was awful. They said over there, so dark. It wasn't any lightning, or they would have pulled us off the field. But I've seen a lot of different things. So, Douglas, got these 28 games in. Of course, with Bryan Station, they have only gotten the 18 in, and there's been a lot of teams that have played somewhere between 20 and 28 games.
Yeah, Lafayette's
so far.
20-5 on the season.
Winners, we were talking about them on the phone this afternoon, and Lafayette's winners of 16 of their last 18.
Yep.
Including 15 in a row. So that's pretty impressive. Coach Langston does a heck of a job over there with the Generals, and they're off and running again.
Yeah, they're outstanding. Tates Creek's got a good ball club, Dunbar, and Lexington Catholic, LCA, just to mention a few here in the city. This city is just a hotbed for high school baseball.
Right.
I mean, I know, state championships have been far and few between since the early 2000s, when it seems like we won it every year.
Right.
LCA snuck in there, won a championship 2007. You had Lexington Catholic winning state championships. Lafayette was runner-up 1 year. But, of late, it seems like that Lexington has gotten, the 11th region has gotten into the state tournament and not had great success.
Well, let's just be honest, they laid a clunker. They've done that a few times over the past 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Come in here, and sometimes your team doesn't react properly to the big stage and things like that. But I will also say this, Gary, we talk about the Lexington being the hotbed, but now you're finding more and more outstanding ball players around the region. Now, I say this for probably the final time. I mean, I'll still come back and do some games with us with the 11th region.
Yeah.
But Woodford County's had some talent down there. Franklin County's had some talent because of the Arnold kid that caught a few years ago from Franklin, went to UK and played and had a really fine college career there for the Cats. And Western Hills, of course, JT Riddle playing in the major leagues right now.
Mr. Baseball.
You've had Madison Central over there with Don Richardson, now Coach Roof. I mean, there's some outstanding programs. Scott County, can't forget anybody there, So you got teams on the outlying area of Lexington as well that have got outstanding talent that have actually done some good things as well.
It's a beautiful night for baseball, 77 degrees according to the temperature gauge out in left center field, out in center field. And we'll, of course, clock it for you, Bryan Station and Frederick Douglass. And we'll step out, come back. We'll have the starting lineups and the first pitch of Douglass and Bryan Station here tonight, live on PrepSpin, the Mingua Beef Jerky high school baseball game of the week. We'll be back after this.
I work really hard, but I don't make a whole lot of money. And now, my hours are being cut back at work. I've gotten so far behind on my bills, I feel like I'll never get caught up.
We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
We're not going to judge you.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free. 859-CALL-US. In Lexington and now in London.
Introducing Convenience Invisalign by Doctors Durbin, Morris, and Garner.
Why would you trust your smile to one of those online do-it-yourself kits?
Our goal is to make your dream smile a reality. Schedule your 3D scan today.
The future of healthcare seems dark at times, but for patients in Kentucky with diagnostic imaging needs, there's a place with clarity and a compassionate staff. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI provides quality patient care while saving you hundreds to thousands of dollars as compared to hospital-based centers. Remember, for your medical imaging needs, you have a choice. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI.
Welcome back to Whitaker Bank Ballpark, the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week with Darren Douglas and William Warfield, Gary Ball. Bryan Station, they will counter. This will be their lineup tonight against Frederick Douglass. Tyler Hawkins, the center fielder, hitting .320, will lead off. Tariq Price, the left fielder, batting second. Dylan Lynch, the second baseman, will bat third. Sammy Burdette, the shortstop, batting in the cleanup spot. Dalton Stumball, the third baseman, will bat fifth. You got Matthew Pennington, the first baseman, in the sixth hole. Bryson Hobbs, the pitcher, will be in the 7-hole. Kobe Wallace, the catcher, will bat in the 8-hole. And Trenton Cutright, he is the right fielder. He will bat in the 9-hole for the Bryan Station Defenders. I like that name, Defenders. You know, Defenders of the Station.
Defenders of the Station, and of course, one of the original high schools in Lexington.
Yep.
And they got their nickname because there was a fort there over in the past that used to protect the city of Lexington.
Good friend of ours, Champ Ligon, used to be the basketball coach there.
Who's listening and watching us down in Florida.
That's a tough call.
Didn't take either one of us with him. Didn't even think about it.
That's right. And we're just about set. We got a young lady that's going to sing the national anthem. We'll go down the field with her. Good job on the national anthem tonight. young lady. I believe she was from Douglas High School.
Michaela, I don't know what her last name was. We'll get it here in just a second.
Great job by that young lady giving us the national anthem. And we're just about set for baseball. Bryan Station, they're in the gold unis tonight with the green trim. So they got the nice uniforms on tonight. And you know who Douglas looks like, I don't have to say it, the Miami Hurricanes with that orange and green on the ball cap and orange and green, the green numerals. So Douglas comes in the Broncos, coached by Eddie Brooks. Justin Royal, tell us a little bit about Mr. Royal.
Mr. Royal, he is a special ed teacher over at Bryan Station, to my knowledge. He is actually a really good person. Eddie Brooks the same way, though. Both these guys are really quality human beings and somebody that you'd want your son to play for or your daughter to be in class with. They are very good stand-up people. But Justin comes from Ironton, Ohio, went to Pikeville College to play baseball, and so he remembered his first trip into the mountains of Kentucky. He thought, oh boy, what have I got myself into? But he is a Buckeye fan through and through of all sports, and but he married a Kentucky girl. So
Tyler Hawkins will lead off for Bryan Station. The outfield, Michael Lowe's out in left field. We talked about the speed a while ago of this outfield. Hayden Hunt is the center fielder. Key is over in right field. Cameron Dunn is your third baseman. Scaris is the Julius is the shortstop. Tyler Bryan, and that's Cisco Bryant's son, I believe, is at second base. Gavin Faulkner is at first. We'll talk about Mr. Howard out on the mound. Gross is behind the dish. And as we said, that's a defense, and it is a fast outfield there for Frederick Douglass, and Bryan Station knows that.
Yep.
And leading off for Bryan Station to be Tyler Hawkins and Tariq Price, and Dylan Lynch and Sammy Burdette, the shortstop, will back clean up. He hopes he gets an opportunity here in the first inning because that would mean that somebody reached base.
But I'll tell you what, these two guys that are the battery for the Broncos tonight, each in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
I would have never dreamed of playing high school baseball in the 8th grade. Back in my day, I was worried about whether I was going to get a pimple or not. That was, I know you feel the same vibe there, but these guys are much more advanced now because of all the baseball they play.
Thomas Howard on the mound, 1-2, but he has electricity out there. Reaches in, Hawkins at the plate. The first pitch, pulled down third base hit. As it gets in, then the left fielder comes over, cuts it off, and throws it in, but he's going to go into second with a stand-up double by Tyler Hawkins as he ripped it into left field, and Lowe got it in out there. Lowe see how fast he was getting that baseball out there, Darren? That's what I'm talking about.
Well, he also had trouble picking it up. He went down, picked it up in the exchange from the glove to the bare hand. He dropped it, had to go back and pick it up with the bare hand a second time, which allowed Hawkins to easily get into second, but Hawkins got aggressive on the first pitch of the night, got one up and drove it down the line.
Thomas Howard now will look at Tariq Price. Here's the first pitch to him. He bunts it right back out to the pitcher.
There.
Nobody covering. He throws over to second baseman late, and he's going to be safe at first. Second baseman was late getting over there, and that's going to be we'll call that a bunt single, Darren.
That's what they do on the scoreboard as well here, Gary.
And Hal Hawkins moved down to third on that bunt. He's at third now. Price is at first. So Bryan Station getting out the sticks here in the first inning against this 8th grader, Thomas Howard, the pitcher. 1-2 record. Tell us about Mr. Howard's overall stats and everything on the season for Douglas. Has runners at the corner, and Dylan Lynch now, 327 hitter, throw over to first base, back plenty of time as Price. You have runners at first and third for Bryan Station.
This is the 8th appearance for Mr. Howard. It's his second start. He has thrown 16 innings, given up 18 hits, 17 runs.
Runner off would go in, and he's still second, just standing up, no throw at all. So stolen base there for Price. So runners at second and third now, nobody out here. Dylan Lynch, no balls and one strike. Howard to the belt, the wide, and the pitch, and that's going to be inside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, he's got a real fluid motion on the mound, and that's where it kind of just explodes off his hand.
That shot from center field is outstanding, isn't it?
Sight.
Here's the pitch, hit over to second, and Bryan makes a grab and looks to second, but doesn't even throw the ball. 1 out as he flies it quickly to Bryant at second base. Lynch is out.
So Lynch squared it up on the barrel of the bat, just unfortunately hit it right at the second baseman, Bryant. And right now, Bryan Station being very aggressive. I like that approach. If the guy's going to be around the plate, and you may have gotten scouting reports from various people to find out, be aggressive. If the ball's in the hitting zone, go ahead and take a hack.
Sammy Burdett at the plate. Howard's pitch is going to be way outside. Ball 1 to Burdett. If he loses him, he will get to the top RBI guy for the defenders. Dalton, that's be Dalton Stanball. He has 17 RBIs on the season. So you get to your top RBI guy with base runners at second and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch, and pop up to the right side, and it's going to be out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here as Lynch, the number 3 hole hitter, a 327 hitter, he flew out to second baseman Bryan.
Watch Howard's motion. I want the folks out there to watch. Just watch how he's going from the windup of the guy on third, which you don't see very much these days.
Runners at second and third. Here's the Howard pitch, and ball hit out toward left field. I believe that's going to dropped in for the base hit. Here comes Hawkins in. Price comes in. It's 2-0. Going to second. He's going to go to third, try for a triple. Here comes a throw in, and he's going to be safe. Ball gets away from the third baseman and backed up by the pitcher and keeps him at third, but it's 2-0 as Hawkins and Price came in to score.
Looked like Lowe had some trouble with his footing out there in left center field as he tried to round on that baseball to maybe catch it on the short hop. His feet gave way. He was unable to knock it down with the glove, and it went all the way to the wall, and Hunt had to hurry over from center field. The ball was hit more towards the left field area, so Hunt had a long run to back up, and that's why
Burdett gets 2 RBIs on that base hit out to left field, brings in the 2 runs. There's a ball flying down to right field, out of play to Dalton Stanball. On deck is Matthew Pennington. 2 runs in for the defenders. They lead it 2-0 here in the top half of the first inning.
Now, Stanball's not a big guy at all, but he's the leading RBI guy. That means something's going right, something in front of him.
Here's a pitch to Stanball, swing and a miss. Can't catch up to that. Howard, I believe he took a lot off that one. That was a breaking pitch.
Yeah, look, and it was down and away from Stanball too, and he was looking for something from the inner or the middle of the plate in.
Burdett's down at third. He tripled into left field, brought in 2 runs, and swing and a miss, strikes him out. So he gets out the leading RBI guy, got him swinging as Stanball with those 17 RBIs goes down swinging, and 2 outs now, and that brings up Matthew Pennington, the first baseman.
That was back-to-back good locations, though, for pitches from Howard.
Howard's maybe settling down a little bit. The right-hander rocks, the 8th grader fires, and that's going to be a call strike. So good pitches here of late after he gave up the leadoff double to Hawkins, and then Price bunted him around to third. He was safe at first, and they both came in and scored. It's 2-0. Ball chopped down toward third. It's going to be played down there. The third baseman throws over to first, and it gets away from him. And the run comes in and scores as Burdett scores. It's 3-0.
The third baseman, Dunn, backed up on it. He's playing a little deep, too, for Pennington at the plate.
I'm going to rule that an error.
Yeah, they gave him an E5 on the throw. And the first baseman, Faulkner, tried to pick it. But as a first baseman, you have to realize if that ball's out in front of you, bounce-wise, you've got to maybe come off the bag and knock it down. Put your chest out there and knock it down.
So 3 runs in already for Station. They've scored as many runs in the top half of this first. They did the entire game last night against Douglas. They lost 7-3, Darren, last night.
Well, and you're playing back-to-back.
Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Good pitch there.
Came with a high heat.
Yep, a little bit out of the zone. Hobbs sitting dead red fastball, maybe chase ball 1.
Pennington is out at second. He reached second on that bad throw by Dunn. Error on Dunn, the third baseman of Douglas. Here's this pitch, and that's going to be a call strike. So way ahead on the count to Bryson Hobbs, the pitcher. Kobe Wallace on deck. 3 runs already in for Bryan Station. They lead 3-0 on 3 hits, and they've still got a runner out at second base. Here's the 0-2, and strike 3, caught the inside corner. So he struck out Stumble and Hobbs to end the inning, but the damage is done. 3 runs on 3 hits. They leave 1 man on at the end of a half inning. Bryan Station 3, Frederick Douglass coming to bat in the bottom of the first here on the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be. generations to come.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Whitaker Bank supports 956 Kentucky charities and community events.
Employees of Whitaker Bank volunteered 14,860 hours to better our Kentucky communities.
93 nonprofits that promote diversity and inclusion in Kentucky are supported by Whitaker Bank.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Welcome back to Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Gary Ball with Darren Douglas, William Warfield producing here on PrepSpin. Hayden Hunt will lead off for the Frederick Douglass Broncos, a .393 hitter. Julius Scarce, the shortstop, will be number 2. Micah Lowe, left fielder, will bat third. In the cleanup spot, Ryan Sargent, the DH. Dane Key will be your right fielder in the 5-hole. Ty Bryan, second baseman in the 6-hole. Cameron Dunn, the third baseman, who had a little trouble with that throw there, Darren, in that last inning. Cost him a run. Thomas Howard's your pitcher, and Gavin Faulkner, the number 9-hole hitter, first baseman. Defensively, for Bryan Station, Price is out in left field. Hawkins is in center. You got Cartwright in right field. He's only an 8th grader. He's got some speed out there, though. You got Stanball at third. Burdett is at shortstop. Dylan Lynch is second baseman. Matthew Pennington at first. And Kobe Wallace, is behind the dish. And Bryson Hobbs, right-hander on the mound. What can you tell us about Mr. Hobbs?
Well, Mr. Hobbs for Bryan Station is making...
For Douglas.
For Douglas. Oh, Hobbs is for Bryan Station.
You're right, you're
right. He is making his 8th appearance, his 6th start. He's thrown 23 and 2/3 innings, given up 19 hits, 23 runs, 8 earned, walked 16, struck out 16, 3-3 on the year, but a good 2.37 earned run average.
Hunt, the right-hander. Here's the Hobbs pitch, and that's going to be a ball inside. You do not want to put this guy on base because he is a very dangerous base runner. He's stolen 26 out of 31 stolen bases.
I'd like to meet the 5 catchers who've thrown him out, though.
Pitch, and that's going to be outside to Hunt. 2 balls and no strikes from Hobbs. As you said, the right-hander for Bryan Station with Julius Scarce, shortstop, on deck. And that pitch is going to be a strike on the outside corner. And I tell you what, I used to be an umpire. You know, Darren, you used to umpire as well. That was a very close pitch.
Yep,
that's
pitch,
all I'll say.
Out on the outer half of the plate.
2-1, and that's pulled foul down the third base line into the bullpen area down there. And the count evens it. He's running even on Hayden Hunt.
Yeah.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if you're Hobbs, what you want to come out to do in the bottom of the first inning is throw strikes. You don't want to put anybody on courtesy of the free pass.
Exactly right. Hunt hits it out towards center field. Base hit. So Hunt drives that average up a little bit with that base hit out to center field. He's got that average up close to 400 now, doesn't he, Darren?
He does. And people think, well, that's great. Well, yeah, there's a young man that leads the state in hitting up north at Beechwood High School, batting near 700.
700, yeah.
And I've asked people up there that I know, and they said that is not a fluke.
Yeah,
that is
Logan Castleman is. If you ever see Beechwood in this area, you want to go see him play. He is worth the price of admission. Throw to first, back in plenty of time is Hayden Hunt. You got to watch Hunt, as I said. Stolen 26 out of 31 bases. Julius Scarce at the dish, a left-handed hitter, 361 batting average. Hobbs, and that's going to be a ball a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Now, Scarce, it's one of those 2 sport players at Douglas.
Yeah, remember he played on the basketball team. Throw over to first, back in time, Hunt. Pennington applies a pop tag there. Burdett is at shortstop for Bryan Station. He knows that Hunt's probably going to be running. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hunt is staying. 2 balls and no strike. That was outside. And I was watching Hayden Hunt, and he took a long look, but he stayed right there at first base. 2 balls and no strikes with nobody out, and 3-0. Bryan Station got 3 runs in the top half of this inning. Here's a pitch, going to be a strike on the outside corner to Julius Scarce.
Might have been a little borderline pitch there, but again, you know, strike zone in the high school is going to be a little bit more liberal than it would be at the college or pro level.
Micah Lowe is on deck, the left fielder. Then Ryan Sargent, the designated hitter for Frederick Douglass. They bat here in the bottom of the first. I'll take you to the first 2. Ball fouled down the third base line as he got around that a little bit late. And Darren Douglas will give you innings 2 and 3 here from Whitaker Bank Ballpark. He'll give you the play-by-play.
I'm sitting here looking at for Beechwood. They're not out of Northern Kentucky. They will be in Northern Kentucky. Is that you that cracked that? That's a wood dauber. He's not going to hurt anybody.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Be my best Harry Carey impersonation. Come out from under the table there.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Hunt will take a long look at the pitcher. He'll probably take a break here. 26 stolen bases, and that's a ball outside, and he looks at that one, and he goes back to first. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Scarce with Lowe on deck for Douglas as they bat here in the bottom of the first inning, down 3-0.
Well, Hobbs can do 2 things to control the running game. He can vary his hold at the belt and then the
ball
slide
4.
step. Yep.
Scarce draws the base on balls.
And the other thing I said that Hobbs needs to do, I didn't get a chance to say, Gary, is this 3-run lead in the bottom of the first inning. Go at the hitters. Don't nibble. Don't try to be too perfect, too fine. And that's where he was with Scarce.
Michael Lowe steps in there. He is a .304 hitter, does have 3 home runs on the season. And that leads, Douglas only got, 4 or 5 on the season?
Only have 4.
So Lowe is a power hitter. Sargent on deck. Runners at first and second, Hunt and Scarce. Pitch, and it's going to be get behind him, and nobody able to advance. So catcher throws down to first, and then they throw over to third, and going into third, safe. The ball gets away from the third baseman. Coming in to score will be Hunt, and going into second will be Scarce. It's 3-1.
Well, what happened there with Bryan Station, Wallace, the catcher, saw Scarce off of first, pretty good distance. You don't want to throw behind him, though, because you have the runner at second, and with the speed of Hunt, he was easily going to get to third.
Scarce is down at second now. Lowe's at the plate, 2-0. That ball was thrown behind him. He bunts it out to the pitcher. Pitcher fields and throws it away from the first baseman. Coming in to score will be Scarce. It's 3-2. Rounding second, and Lowe, no, he's going to go back to second. So Lowe at second base, and that's going to be an error on the throw.
The throw was into the runner a little bit, but Pennington's got to help his pitcher out there. You got to make that play. Come off the bag, get the baseball, and tag as the runner's going by. Don't try to stay on the base. Look, too, that he may have had the wrong foot forward there.
2 runs have scored, but Hunt was the only one to hit the ball well. Everybody else has tried to bunt their way, and it's just been thrown around the ballpark by Station. 3-2 now. And there's going to be a ball a little bit low to Ryan Sargent, the designated hitter, with Lowe out at second base now. He's a tying run. It's 3-2 already. 5 runs have been scored in the first inning of this ball game.
Had a lot of action.
Station, and that's going to be a call strike. Station's yet to get an out.
Yeah. I mean, we got 5 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors in the first inning. That's a lot of action for
yes, sir.
An inning plus, or a half inning plus, I should say.
Mingua Beef Jerky Game of the Week. Gary Ball with Darren Douglas. William Moorfield, the king of stream. Ball behind the hitter, and they going down. They got to throw, but they don't even throw it. He's going to be safe into third.
I think Wallace might be a little gun shy of letting the ball go again after what happened to him a moment ago.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't throw it away, he just had 2 guys on base that have unbelievable speed.
Lowe is down at third now. Sargent, 2 balls and 1 strike. One of the coaches is going to go out and give some water to the pitcher. Hydration.
First time I've ever seen that. The umpire was like, "What are you bringing out to the field?" And I don't know. It's a little warm. I mean, still about 76 degrees outside. And
young man hydrating. Get some hydration.
Well,
Ryan Sargent digs in, 2 balls and 1 strike, and he can tie this game up with a hit or something. No outs. 3-2. Pitch to Sargent, and he pulls it down third. Third catches it. Is he in foul territory? Yes, he is. They're going to call the runner out.
Good.
So Sargent, I guess he caught that right on the bag there at third base and made a nice throw over to first. Or they're going to bring him back?
No, he's out.
Okay.
Yeah. 5-3 on the put out. Nice play by Stanball, the third baseman for Station. And a nice job of running the bases, too.
That's the first out.
by Lowe because the ball was hit right at the bag. He had to get around the third baseman.
Standball was looking at him.
Yeah.
So left-handed hitting Dane Key up there now, and that's going to be a call strike on the outside corner to the left-hander from Bryson Hobbs, a right-handed pitcher. 3-2, 1 out, no balls and 1 strike to the batter. Key. Pitch is going to be a call strike on the outside corner. Dane Key, a 208 hitter. He's behind now, no balls and 2 strikes. The tying runs down at third. Ball fouled out of play down the left field line as he got around on that one late, very late.
They let that ball travel deep into the zone and try to push it to the left side of the infield.
3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. Ball pulled foul down the end of the bullpen area down the third base side.
I have to tell Coach Brooks to charge that one a little bit.
He would tell you no. 2 balls and...
Tell you what, they say he could pick it though in his day at second base.
2 runs, 1 hit for Douglas. 3-2 Bryan Station. There's a pitch, swing and a miss.
Good off-speed
Good pitch as he struck out Key. First strikeout of the game for Hobbs.
Looked like a changeup from Hobbs. That might have been the first of the night that he's thrown. He had Key way out in front of it. Plus, it was good location. It was down in the zone. And
9th strikeout of the season for Hobbs. He had 8 prior to that one. 2 outs now, so he's 1 out away from getting out of this first inning and retaining the lead 3-2. He's up 3-2 here. They got 3 runs in the top half of this inning. Bryan Station played at 3. It's 3-2, but you got Lowe down at third for Douglas. Ty Bryant, the second baseman at the dish, pulls it out towards short. Backhanded there. Good play by Burdett, throws over to the infield and throws him out. Nice play by Sammy Burdett, the shortstop, as he throws Bryan out 6-3 on a good backhanded play. That's the 3rd out, but for Douglas, 2 runs on only 1 hit. They leave a man on base. As we go to the 2nd inning, it's Bryan Station 3 and Douglas 2 here on the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week at Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
From where you are now to earning your degree, whether you're looking for part-time work or the gateway to a full-time career, you'll get there with UPS. Through the UPS Kentucky Loop program, package handlers will get up to 100% of their tuition paid and housing provided. Great job and great opportunity delivered in one package by UPS. Apply today at upsjobs.com or text LOOP to 33588.
Feel the air change.
We're back at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Gary Ball with Darren Douglas. We head to the 2nd inning, and for Bryan Station, it'll be Kobe Wallace, Trenton Cutright, and back to the top of the order, Tyler Hawkins facing Thomas Howard, right-hander for Douglas on the mound. He has a record on the season.
3-3, I believe.
Yep, 3-3.
His ERA is up there at 5.69, but you can have one bad outing and get that ERA up, and it's going to take you 3 or 4 more to get it back down somewhere.
At the dish, and that's going to be a pitch low. At the dish is Kobe Wallace, the catcher. Then Trenton Cutright will be on deck, their right fielder for Bryan Station. They're in the goal tonight. Ball hit out toward shortstop. It didn't quite make it to center field. Looked like it from my man. It's caught by the shortstop, so pop out to the short. That'll be F6, 1 out here, 2nd inning.
Sound like Wallace got it off the handle a little bit there, and good job of coming inside off the plate a little bit by Hobbs and
1 out
by Howard, excuse me. And when you can get inside on hitters and not let them get their arms out, that's real good.
Ball low in the dirt to Trenton Cutright with Tyler Hawkins, the center fielder, on deck for Bryan Station, batting in the top of the second. They played at 3 in the first. They lead 3-2 here over Douglas. Second pitch, swing and a miss.
Good breaking pitch there from Howard. Again, I got to point out Mr. Howard's motion. It is very deliberate. He repeats the same motion, same angle, leg kick, everything. It's just all so fluid.
1-0 is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. 3-2. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a called strike.
It looked like a slider that time, and somebody said, how can you tell the difference between a slider and a curveball? A curveball goes from 12-6. A slider goes from about 3 to 5.
2-2 pitch, and that's going to be, and the umpire almost rung him up, but
he flinched.
Yeah, he did. He was close to ringing him up, but he calls it a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so the full count with 1 out. Nobody on base here in the top half of the second. Hawkins on deck. Pitch to Cutright, and that's going to be ball 4.
Yeah, that nice at bat by Cutright. After falling behind a ball and 2 strikes. Took a real close pitch for ball 3.
So the number 9 hole hitter Cutright gets on deck with the base on balls, and that brings up Tyler Hawkins.
Did you ever do that when you umpired? Did you ever flinch, like you want to call a strike? And
did it a time or 2, yes. And everybody got excited.
Yep.
1 out here in the top of the second inning. Throw to first, and boy, I tell you what, if he had a little bit quicker throw, he might have got him that time. But because Cutright was a little late getting back there, but he's back just in time at first base.
And you coached a little baseball too, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did. Matter of fact, you know, I've had both. I was a left-handed first baseman. I prefer a left-handed first baseman for the simple fact of right now where you're holding a runner on, that tag goes down quicker. You catch the balls, in all in one motion.
Throw to first, and that's exactly what you got over there, first base right now. You got a left-handed first baseman. That would be Mr. Faulkner.
Yeah, and the right-hander, though, it's not bad either, but you got to reach across your body to tag a guy out.
Pitch, and the runner's off and going, and he's going down to second base and no throw at all.
Yeah, he got a great break, and he picked a proper pitch to run on. It was a breaking pitch down in the dirt, and he stole that on the pitcher, Howard.
Hawkins, he got the base hit in the first and came in and scored a run. Got the first run of 3 for Station in the first inning. They lead at 3-2, and they've got a runner in scoring position out there at second base. And I believe that's a courtesy runner, Darren, if we can find out.
No, that's Cutright.
Cutright, okay.
Yeah, that's Cutright still.
Ball is going to be low and outside.
Well, I tell you what, I like this approach from Hawkins here. The first pitch of the ball game, he knew he was going to get a fastball somewhere around the middle of the plate. Jumped all over it on the opening pitch, lined it down the left field line for a double. This one here, he's very, very patient, making Howard work.
Howard spins around but doesn't even throw it to second base.
Be interesting to see if Coach Royal cuts his leadoff hitter loose here on the 3-0 pitch.
Howard to the belt, checks a runner, the wind and the pitch, and that's going to be a call strike. Go to the inside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he was taken all the way there too. You'll usually find your 3 and 4 hitters. Coaches will give them a 3-0 green light, shrink that strike zone down, and hit a ball in that spot.
3 balls and 1 strike. Howard checks a runner. Played and swing and a miss. So, boy, he took a big cut at that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Out in front, that looked like maybe a changeup or a forkball. That thing dropped right as it got to the strike zone.
Hawkins couldn't catch up to it. He was 3-0. Nice 3 balls and 2 strikes with Tariq Price on deck, the left fielder. Runner out at second. 1 out. Here's the full count. And ball chopped down toward third is going to be foul.
Another nice pitch got inside off the plate a little bit to Hawkins, and Hawkins just had to fight it off. Wind's going to be a factor here tonight, Gary. It was blowing from the left center field wall to the right field corner. Now it's blowing out to left center.
3-2 and swing, and he hits it just foul down the left field line. Hawkins has been way out in front of those pitches tonight. He doubled his first time up down the left field line.
Well, Howard got away with one. That was up a little bit in the strike zone, about belt high, and Hawkins a little bit out in front of an off-speed pitch and jerked it foul.
Pitch to Hawkins, chops it back to the screen again. Count holds it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out with cut right out at second base. And Tariq Price on deck for Bryan Station. They lead it 3-2 here.
Another nice pitch from Howard. Again, he's staying inside to Hawkins here.
Not bad for an 8th grader, huh?
No, pretty good presence on the mound.
Here's the wind and the pitch, and ball fouled out of play. First base side.
Yeah, he got away with that one. He hung that one up right in the letters.
He's hung a couple up this time.
Yeah, that one he kind of tipped off too. He slowed his motion down with the arm. They gave it away. That was going to be an off-speed pitch, and he kept it up, but he got away with it.
3-2 to Hawkins with Price on deck. Runner out at second. Here's a 3. He's off and running. Throw down to third and going in safe. And he walked the batter Hawkins.
No,
so
struck him out. Call.
Oh, I'm
third.
sorry.
Yep.
He called a strike. Okay.
A nice pitch on the inner half.
Excuse me. I thought it was in. Okay.
Had to watch.
I was watching the throw down to third.
I split that real good eye off onto the right side to watch the umpire, and then his lazy eye here on left just kind of filtered out to third base.
There's an advantage to having that lazy eye in there. I tell you. I don't have that.
That was a good pitch by Howard right on the inner half of the plate, and he locked up Hawkins.
Yeah. Well, that was a generous call. 2 outs. And swing and a miss by Price. Couldn't catch up to that one.
Man, if we didn't have the roster up here, no Howard was an 8th grader, I would swear he's a little bit older than that. His presence on the mound so far has been unbelievable.
Pretty good size young man, too.
Yes, sir.
Here's the pitch, and ball foul back to the screen. So there are 2 outs now. Runner down at third. He reached third on that strikeout by Hawkins. Price is at the dish. He's behind. No balls and 2 strikes to the pitcher, Thomas Howard.
And that was a pretty good throw, too, by the catcher, Gross, who's also an 8th grader.
Here's the 1-2. Ball popped up toward the first base side, well out of play. I'll take you through this inning, the second inning, and Darren Douglas will have the call of innings 3 and 4 here from Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
That was a breaking pitch again. This time it kind of just spun. It was not up. It was a little bit out away from Burdette, so that made it a decent pitch.
Dylan Lynch on deck, and there's a pitch hit down towards short.
Ooh, nice hop.
Fielded by Scarce. He throws over the infield and throws him out at first. Good play by Scarce, the shortstop, 6-3. So that's the inning, and for Station, no runs. They get 1 hit. They leave 1 man on base. As we go to the bottom of the second, they lead Douglas 3-2. Douglas coming to bat here in the bottom of the second here on the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week from Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
I'm on a fixed income. Credit cards help me balance the money that's coming in and what I need to live on. I've thought about bankruptcy, but how am I supposed to pay for it?
Sometimes the people that need help the most are the very people who can least afford it.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free. In Lexington and now in London.
Leading off, Cameron Dunn here in the bottom of the second against Bryson Hobbs. And there's a pitch and pull foul down into the dugout area of Douglas. So it'll be Dunn and Howard and then Faulkner. Excuse me. Dunn and Howard and Faulkner. Pitch is going to be low and almost hit him inside, and Bryson Hobbs nearly hit him. 3-2 is your score. Bryan Station on top of Douglas here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. That hit him.
I got him.
Nearly hit him the last time. That one did get him. So, hit by pitch. Going down to first is Dunn. Trying to see if Dunn is Dunn also, he's got an 86% stolen base. He's at 6 out of 7. So you can steal them as well.
You can tell Coach Brooks has adopted that Minjone, who was the coach?
Philosophy.
Yeah, before, who was the coach is now the AD at Mississippi State? Oh, jeez. But he brought that theory to Kentucky baseball that we don't move. We're gonna crowd the plate. We're gonna make you be able to pitch inside. And if you hit us, we're just gonna take it and take our base. They have been hit. That's the 41st time a Bronco batter has been hit by a pitcher.
Thomas Howard bunts it down to pitcher, first base side, and he flips over to first baseman for the out. So Howard gets a runner down to second. Going to second will be done. So Howard's out, bouncing to the pitcher, 1-3, 1 out. That brings up Gavin Faulkner, the number 9 hole hitter, a 242 hitter, first baseman for the Broncos.
People will ask, well, why is that such a big deal? Well, if you crowd the plate and you make that pitcher pitch inside and you take hit batters, you're gonna number one, you're gonna scare that pitcher off from pitching inside.
And that's way behind the hitter Faulkner. That was behind him. And right now, Bryson Hobbs, a little bit of control problem here as he faces the number 9 hole hitter Gavin Faulkner. Hayden Hunt waiting on deck.
Depends on where he throws this next pitch, if we can call him effectively wild with that first pitch.
Here's a 1-0 pitch with 1 out, and swing and a miss.
That was a changeup.
Got out way ahead of that one.
Changeup from Hobbs. And then the second thing is if you scare him off from reaching outside, now you can look away as a hitter and you can cover that outside corner more.
So 1 ball, 1 strike to Faulkner, and that's going to be hitting. That hit him. So he goes down to first base with hit by the pitch. And going back to second will be done. He's not allowed to advance on a hit batter.
Now the rule in the college game has changed drastically this year, taking that essentially basically out of the game. You have to make an attempt now to get out of the way in the college game. If not, they will bring you back. And that happened in the Kentucky game this past weekend with Florida.
So Hayden Hunt singled and scored back in the first. Hits that one out toward center field, and center fielder Hawkins camps under, makes a grab. Easy grab and throw out there in center field for the second out.
Good pitch. Had Hunt a little bit out in front of it. Got the fly ball to center. And Hobbs looks like he's settling in now a little bit.
Another thing you do when you keep Hunt off those bases, you keep a dangerous base stealer. He had, like you said, Darren, 26 stolen bases prior to that at bat.
If you're just 2 guys on base and he's behind you, you're taking a deep breath because you don't have him breathing down your neck running the base pass.
Left-handed hitting Julius Scarce at the plate. Look at that one outside. 1 ball, no strikes with runners at first and second. Dunn's out at second. Faulkner's at first. Pitch to swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up to that one.
That was a good fastball.
72 miles an hour.
A good fastball. Out away from Scarce and really had some late movement, too, at the end.
That was the key, that movement at the end. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Scarce, and that's going to be a ball a little bit low. But outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Bryan Station leads 3-2. Douglas does have runners at first and second. 2 outs. 2 balls, 1 strike to Julius Scarce. Wind to pitch, and that's going to be ball 3 just outside.
And now he's trying to nibble a little bit at that outside corner after throwing a really nice fastball out there for a swing and a miss strike.
Yeah.
If you're Hobbs, you can't nibble. You got to go right at the hitters. Be aggressive in the strike zone.
3 balls, 1 strike, and that's going to be ball 4.
Just missed again. He wanted that one.
So that loads him up. And that loads him up for Ryan Sargent. No, excuse me, Micah Lowe. I'm sorry, Sargent's after Lowe. Micah Lowe. Let's look at Lowe's numbers here. .304 batting average. Struck out 19 times. So Micah Lowe, then Ryan Sargent. Lowe reached all the way around to third in the first inning. Was stranded there, I believe. Darren, is that not correct?
Yes. They got all the way to third on that throwaway on.
Yep. 2 outs. Bases loaded for the Broncos for Micah Lowe. Pitch to Lowe, hit out towards center. Base hit! That'll score 1, maybe 2. Here comes the second run. And throw to third, and going in there, and he'll go to second, throw to second, safe. So Lowe, a double and 2 RBIs. He went to second on the throw.
Yep. Good piece of hitting. Didn't try to do too much with a pitch out away from him. Hit it back up the middle, and then just really good aggressive base running by the Broncos.
And that single in, reaching second on the throw, 2 RBIs. That gives 2 RBIs to Micah Lowe. He now has 18 RBIs on the season. 4-3. Douglas on top, still runners at second and third. Now Sargent's up there, Darren. And that's going to be a ball outside on that breaking pitch to Ryan Sargent with Dane Key on deck.
Yeah, no activity in the Bryan Station pen this early in the ball game, but Hobbs has given up the lead.
Pitch, and that's going to be a call strike, and he came with some good velocity that time. We're playing mainly under the lights right now. It's pretty dark here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark as we reach about 8:19.
I've got some friends of mine down in Louisville said power's out in certain parts of Louisville right now.
So they had some pretty good storms, huh?
Yeah, well, I guess so.
That's usually what that means. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sargent, so he's trying to get out of this inning after he's given up 2 runs and also relinquished the lead. Ball hit out toward right field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Here comes 1 run. Coming around low, around third. He comes in to score. And going into second will be Sargent with 2 more RBIs. Makes it 6-3. Well, I tell you, that was a good bit of hitting. He just went with that outside pitch and dropped it into right field and plated scarce and low for 4 runs in. We got an offensive explosion here in the first 2 innings there. 9 runs have been scored.
A nice bit of hitting from Sargent, and then both runners got great breaks.
2 RBIs for Mr. Sargent. 2 outs, and Bryson Hobbs doing everything he can to get out of this inning. He thought he might have been able to get out of it, just a 1-run, 4-3, a 1-run deficit, but now it's 6-3. Pitch, ball foul back to the screen.
Yeah, it sounded like Key may have got that off the end of the bat. Came back to the screen kind of funny, too.
Dane Key struck out in the first inning. Ty Bryan on deck. Runner out at second. That's going to be a ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs. Here in the second inning, bottom of the second, it's 6-3. 4 runs in for Douglas. Well, they answered that 3 for Station at the top of the third, didn't they?
They did, but they got help in the first inning.
Ball hit foul down the left field line. That's going to be out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Gary Ball with Darren Douglas and William Warfield, the king of stream. Man, look at that shot right there. That doesn't get any better than that for high school baseball.
Oh, no.
It's a great shot from center field.
That center field shot on television and things. It's just one of those fun things to see.
2-2 pitch, and ball fouled right back here and just over top of us here.
Charge that one, Gary.
2 ball, yeah, right.
You're supposed to charge that one. Come on now.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So deuces are wild. 6-3, Douglas. Chopper down toward third. Shortstop fields Burdette and throws over to first. Safe throw to the plate, and he is going to be out at the plate.
Good slide from the Dunbar runner.
Sargent.
Yeah, Sargent, but a nice throw from Pennington, the first baseman. Give a hit to Key.
Yep. And then out at the plate is Sargent as he tried to come all. A good throw. So at the end of the second inning, they get 4 runs. They leave nobody on base. As we go to the top of the third, it is Douglas 6, Bryan Station 3. We'll be back with the third inning here on PrepSpin, the Mingua Beef Jerky. There you see the runner coming around third on the replays, and a good throw to the plate, and he is out with the tag.
Taking him right in the chest.
We'll be back on the Mingua Beef Jerky. High school baseball, game of the week.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of our 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known. Back with the third inning, and here with the play-by-play is Darren Douglas.
Thanks, Gary Ball, and it'll be a first pitch ball from Howard to the number three hitter Dylan Lynch. He's 0 for 1. Lined out to the second baseman Bryant in the first inning. Swinging a miss on the next pitch, a fastball from Howard.
That's
a count of ball and
pretty
strike.
Good velocity right there by the pitcher for Douglas.
Yeah, both these guys are getting up, and I think, we got a ball loose down the right field line. As it's out in straightaway right field. And Key, the right fielder, goes and gets it and delivers it back to the dugout, or to the bullpen. Outfield straightaway, with the exception of the center fielder Hunt. He plays about 5 steps to the third base side of.
Ball's still getting out of control out there in the bullpen.
That means the pitcher's not throwing strikes, or the catcher's having trouble with whatever he's throwing down there in the bullpen. The 1-1 on the way to Lynch. Slow breaking pitch, swung on a foul at the plate.
Yeah, Lynch was full by that pitch. He couldn't catch up to that one because it was a breaking pitch. Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Well, Howard looks like sometimes, as young pitchers will do, sometimes will tip off their off-speed stuff, slows his motion down with his arm.
He's done that a number of times tonight.
The 1-2, however, to Lynch. High and away, 2-2. Wind has changed again, Gary. It's kind of swirling now here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
Yeah, we've got some weather moving in, but it's a little bit ways off to the west.
Yeah, it's just in the Louisville, Derby City area.
That hitting.
Ball, we'll hit Lynch, and we'll have the leadoff runner on for Bryan Station, trailing now 6-2. That's the third batter hit in the ball game between the two teams.
Yeah, 6-3, and it was 4 runs in the bottom of the second for Douglas to put them back up, and they've out-hit Bryan Station 4-3.
And they were all, actually 2 of them unearned runs.
That's a good shot right there from the third base side.
As you look at Howard, Thomas Howard, the young 8th grader, goes from the stretch. Short lead at first for Lynch. First pitch down low to the cleanup hitter and shortstop Sam Burdett. Burdett had a 2-run triple back in the first inning. Played the first 2 runs of the night for the defenders. And
that was his 8th and 9th RBI on the season.
Yeah, doesn't have a lot of RBIs being the cleanup hitter, but to be honest with you, Bryan Station hasn't had a whole lot of runners on board over the year.
Stan Ball on deck has 17 RBIs.
As Burdett, as Thomas Howard will throw over to first. Tell you what, he's showing a little bit of his youth there. That Lynch had maybe 2 steps off the bag at first, and Howard was throwing back over there. He's not got a big lead at all, so if you're Howard, you don't concentrate on him at all until he gets out there a little bit further. The 1-0, he's off and running with the pitch. Shortstop covering, good hit and run. On his way to third is Lynch. The throw from Lowe comes in there, not in time, and the defenders have runners on the corners with nobody out.
Something going here with that base hit by Burdett out to left field. Runners at first and third, and they're trying to answer here in the top half of the third inning, down 6-3.
Perfectly executed hit and run. The runner broke from first, Lynch.
Yep.
Shortstop was covering, and Burdett hit it right where the shortstop had vacated.
And that allowed Lynch to go all the way around to third. There was a throw in, as you said, by the outfielder, but he threw it offline a little bit. He had a pretty good throw, but it was offline toward the third base side.
I'm looking down. Lynch is checking on his third base coach. Was the head coach, Justin Royal. Looked like he may have hurt himself. The coach, that is. First pitch, breaking pitch, a dandy on the outside corner, locked up Stanball.
Stanball, the leading RBI guys. We've told you a couple of times that 17 RBIs coming into this game, and he'll try to deliver another one here.
Yeah, he struck out swinging back in the first inning.
First strikeout victim of Thomas Howard.
Takes a pitch off the inner side of the plate as Burdett will break for second and steal second with no throw.
Yep. So runners at second and third now.
Nobody out.
Nobody out.
And now the youngster for Douglas will go for the windup. Ground ball short. Runner will come home. The throw over to first.
Runner moves to third.
Is out on the throw over by Scarce.
But Mr. Stanball will pick up an RBI.
Yeah, number 18 on the year for Stanball. On the throw over to first as well. Burdett goes to third, so.
Yep, Lynch scores.
Defenders have another runner in scoring position, 90 feet away for the first baseman, Pennington.
We got ourselves an offensive game here.
Yeah, an explosion here so far. Nice pitch on the inner side of the plate, right on the black, 0-1. Pennington.
10 runs already and two and a third. 2 1/3.
Pennington looked back at the umpire and said, "Are you sure that was a strike?" Umpire shook his head effectively, yes. 0-1 to him. The 0-1 high, a ball and a strike.
On deck is Bryson Hobbs, the pitcher. 1 ball, 1 strike, just 1 out here in the top of the third.
Pennington is
base hit.
Yep, on first base with a solid single between the shortstop and third baseman in the 6 hole, and it's 6-5.
The Stanball comes in to score. Pennington delivers with a RBI single.
Now that's Burdett that scores from third. Pennington now on first. He picks up an RBI on the play.
Yeah, Lynch and Burdett scored. You're exactly right. Stanball.
7th RBI of the year for Pennington. And we're a run apart now. With 1 out and a runner at first. It brings up Hobbs, the pitcher, drops a bunt down the third base line.
That's foul. Hobbs tried to reach first with that bunt. Thought he might fool somebody.
Well, he had the third baseman done, playing about 2 steps behind the bag at third. Good idea to drop it down the third base line.
Can you believe we got a 6-5 ball game here?
Well, we've seen some offensive explosions in this region before.
Yes, we have. We're going to see more.
Then we've seen 1-0 games that have been outstandingly pitched, too. The 0-1, ground ball short, Scarce on to second for 1. The relay play to first, double play, inning over.
Good job by Bryan to turn that double play at second base, and Scarce to flip it to Bryan, and Bryan with a nice throw to first base. And that's the way you do it there in 6-4-3, and they hold the lead 6-5.
A very nice turn of the double play by the middle of the infield, Scarce to Bryant, over to Faulkner, and the inning over. But in the inning, Bryan Station draws closer. 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no Douglas errors, and there was 1 left. We're through 2.5. 6-5 Broncos on PrepSpin, the Mingua Beef Jerky Game of the Week. here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Pitching change for the Bryan Station defenders. Gary, tell us about the new pitcher.
Looks like it's number 9 for Bryan Station, Tariq Rice. He's got only pitched in 2 innings, given up 2 hits, struck out 3 though, and ERA of course 0-0. But he's coming in and 3 strikeouts. So Rice in pitching now for Bryan Station.
Yeah, Hobbs threw a lot of pitches in those first couple of innings, and really evidently had some kind of need for water in the middle of both innings. So don't want to speculate about anything there, but a pitching change and Rice comes in.
Only given up 2 hits in those 2 innings, 1 base on balls. But like I said, the key things, he struck out 3.
Right. Well, Rice moves from left field to the pitching mound, and in left field, I can't tell. Is that?
I don't have my binoculars.
Is that Hobbs out there? I think that's Hobbs out in left field. Can't tell.
Yeah, that would be the natural.
It'll be Bryant, Dunn, and Howard for Coach Eddie Brooks' Broncos. They lead it 6-5 as we play here in the bottom of the 3rd.
How often does a young man who had a stellar play on the defensive side lead off the very next inning?
Mm-hmm.
Ty Bryant turned that double play with a beautiful spin and throw to first base.
This one lined into right center field. Actually,
I know the ball's.
Yeah, it sounded really good off the bat, and it's a short
pop up to the second baseman.
Yeah, to the second baseman. So 1 gone in the inning.
Brings up Cameron Dunn.
And it'll bring up that 3rd baseman for Douglas. Dunn, he was hit by a pitch leading off the 2nd inning. Came around to score that first of 4 runs for the Broncos in that inning.
If you're just tuning in, this has been an offensive explosion, 6-5 here in the bottom of the 3rd.
First pitch fastball out away from Dunn. Ball and no strikes.
5 runs, 5 hits for Station, 6 runs, 4 hits for Douglas.
Each team's committed error, 2 for Station, 1 for Douglas. The 1-0 fastball right down the Broadway, splits the plate in half at just above the knees there. Good pitch from Rice.
Mike Meehan's in the house tonight. Coach Meehan's in the house.
Doesn't he coach that other kind of ball though, that oblong thing?
Yeah, he coached football.
Coached several places here in Lexington. Swing and a miss. Dunn chased one up in the strike zone.
Of course, he's famous for coaching at Dunbar High School.
Dunbar.
Took them to
when it got
great heights.
When it became a school again. It's also been at Bryan Station and LCA.
Yeah, won a state championship at Lexington Christian as the quarterbacks coach back in, I believe that was 2007 or no, 2009.
2009, I believe.
They had a young man by the name of Dominic Hayden.
Yeah,
could run a little bit.
Pretty good football player.
Became an All-American up at Thomas More College in Northern Kentucky.
The 1-2 again from Price to Dunn. Breaking pitch, hit on the ground to the shortstop Burdett. 1 hop over to Pennington, and there's 2 gone in the inning. Got a long time ago, somebody asked me who inspired me to get into this game of broadcasting, Gary, and I think you and I have talked about this off the air before, but listening real late at night to Kaywood Letford and to Marty Brenneman, two of the legends in this area.
Oh, they are. Marty's calling it quits after this year. 41 years, I believe, he's been in the play-by-play booth.
1973, so a little bit longer than that.
Who did he replace at the Cincinnati Reds?
I know that. We'll give that question. Here's a ground ball 3rd. Stand ball over to Pennington, and the first 1-2-3 inning for either side. Nothing across in the bottom of the 3rd. We move to the 4th. It's a 1-run Douglas lead, 6-5 here on the Mingua Beef Jerky Game of the Week.
I wanted to get back on the basketball court.
I want to get back to the ref I used to be.
I want to get back to gardening.
I want to get back to playing with my band.
Only one team is qualified to get patients back to living their lives. Bluegrass Orthopedics has physician experts to assist in your recovery, whether it's an injury or chronic condition. Bluegrass Orthopedics provides convenient, specialized, and comprehensive care for your unique life.
Hi, this is Gary Ball for Crown Trophy of Lexington. Crown Trophy offers youth sports awards, corporate awards. They offer signs and a full line of promotional products. They're located at 2680 Wilhite Drive on the corner of Nicholasville, New Circle Road, just behind Starbucks. Stop by and pick up your copy of their 85-page catalog. Crown Trophy is nationally known, but locally owned with 150 stores nationwide. Crown Trophy, the official provider of plaques for the Scholastic Ball Report and PrepSpin.
Bank Ballpark. Oh, the things we talk about in commercial breaks. Darren Douglas here with Gary Ball, and sitting in with us is a legend in Lexington coaching, and he actually coaches a fall sport by the name of Mike Meehan. Coach Meehan, can welcome aboard here where you say the higher cats sit.
Yeah, you know what? Gary called me over here to sit down here, and first thing he does is put this piece of paper in front of me where they keep score in these baseball games. Like I got a D in algebra, and this is awful.
That's why you teach English, right?
Yeah, I don't understand this. I mean, this would take some studying.
Well, I'll tell you what, we will, though, enjoy Coach Meehan here through the fourth inning as we get ready to play a one-run game here. 6-5, Frederick Douglass over Bryan Station. Coach acts like he doesn't know about the game of baseball, but don't let him fool you.
No, I never played, actually, but my father coached, and my brother Jim was very good at baseball. So I've gone to a lot of games, and I follow the legends. I'm here almost every one of the games. So.
And growing up where you did, you probably followed the Pirates.
Absolutely, big Pittsburgh fan. Roberto Clemente.
It'll be Dylan Lynch leading. I'm sorry, this is Hobbs, the left fielder now, as he went from the bump to left field. He is 0 for 2. A strikeout looking in the first and a double play ground ball, 6-4-3.
Yeah, that was a really good double play.
Oh, man, nice.
They really played it extremely well.
The 1-1 lined up the middle, out of the reach of Bryan into center field, a hit. So Hobbs has his first hit of the night, and again the beat goes on for the leadoff hitter. In this game, we've had the leadoff hitter reach in every inning.
Yes.
Except the last of the half inning.
And if I'm not mistaken, almost every time they go to second, too. I mean, they're stealing bases right and left.
Both teams like to run, that's for sure.
Whew, they do. It's a lot of speed.
Brings up Trenton Cutright for Coach Justin Royal's team, the number 9 hitter. He walked, stole a couple of bases, and was left stranded at third back in that second inning.
Douglas may be looking for a bunt here. Yep, here we go.
Third baseman Dunn down the throat. Nice bunt of Cutright up the first baseline. Pitcher Howard fields and throws on to Faulkner at first base to record the out. Nice job by Cutright. He was going to drop it down the third baseline, but Dunn was staring him right eyeball to eyeball.
Yeah, Dunn realized it right away. He walked right up there. You know, is this what they call small ball?
Small ball.
Yeah, I like it. See, I like this kind of baseball, to tell you the truth.
The home run is overrated, I think, in the professional game.
Well, it's
pretty.
To do that. Yeah,
it's pretty. That's what of course, back in the day, you being a Pirates fan, me being a Reds fan, we saw some dynamite games between those two teams. Absolutely. In the majors.
I remember sitting when I was a kid in Forbes Field and watching Clemente catch a ball on the wall and throw a guy out at home. From there.
He had a cannon, they said, on that right shoulder.
He did.
Pitch out away from the leadoff hitter Tyler Hawkins, who is 1 for 2. Doubled and scored a run in the first, and then struck out looking in the second. Tying run at second with 1 out for Bryan Station. That's Hobbs. Hawkins hits it hard on the ground to the shortstop. They have Hobbs in a rundown. Running back towards second is Dunn, and that speed is just ridiculous that Dunbar has all over the field.
Yeah. Frederick Douglass.
Oh, yeah, Douglas, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they really do. And usually in a rundown you have at least 2 throws, and that was just a flat rundown with that one.
Yeah, Wallace out on the put out by the third baseman, 5 unassisted. And for young folks out there, that if you're running the bases, you got to understand if you're a runner at second base. The rule is if it's hit right at you or in front of you, in other words, towards the shortstop's right side or the third baseman, you stay put. Hit behind you, it's okay to go to third base. You run yourself out of innings that way. 2 outs on the play by Dunn. Howard will throw over to first as Hawkins is aboard with the fielder's choice.
Yeah, you want to keep those runners on base if you can. That runner at second, that's really important now. With 2 outs, that makes a big difference.
Especially we're getting right here in the middle innings right now.
Playing him straight away, though. Look at this.
And deep. Off and running. This one driven into center field on those horses. Hunt. He won't catch it. It'll roll all the way to the wall. Hawkins will score easily from first base. Going into second with a stand-up double is Rice, and we're tied at 6.
When we mentioned that, it looked like when they was playing straight away, that center fielder was really uptight, though. He really was. Left field was deep, and right field was deep, but hit it over his head.
That thing just carried over Hunt, and Hunt can run down fly balls with the best of them, but that thing was smoked.
Well, look at the wind. If you're looking at the flags out here, the wind's blowing towards center field, yeah.
And we're tied at 6. 7 hits now for Bryan Station. And the defenders gave up a 3-0 lead to fall behind 4-3, and it was 6-3 Douglas. And the run here in the 4th after scoring 2 in the 3rd. And it brings up Lynch, the second baseman for Bryan Station. He is 0 for 1. A line out to the second baseman, Bryant. And then hit by a pitch and a run scored in the 3rd. Howard checks and delivers with the 1-0. This one's hit in the air high and deep to the left, but it's going to curve foul.
Don't want to make a mistake here now, Darren. I tell you, with runner on second, they've got some speed there too.
And that is a long strike. I used to love those things. You hear somebody, boy, you can straighten it out. And as a pitcher, you're sitting out there thinking, even a young pitcher going, it's okay, it was way foul. That's just a loud strike. That's all it is. 1-1, Howard to Lynch. Breaking pitch. Down and in, 2-1.
Darren, one thing I really like, and I've noticed people don't realize this, some of these batters are so good at just hanging in there, fouling off pitches and fouling off pitches. Well, that builds up on that pitcher. I mean, that wears that pitcher out.
Yeah, 120 pitches per week is what a starting pitcher can throw, or actually a pitcher can throw.
Right. And see, this is what's happening here. He's hanging in there. He's fouling that ball off, and that pitcher has to come up with a different look almost every time.
Yeah, Lynch grounded that one foul at third past Coach Royal. We have to get on Coach Royal and Coach Brooks. They both played second base in their high school careers. Neither one charged it. They were waiting back on the ball. He did charge it a little bit there. The 2-2 inside. Full count now to Lynch with the cleanup man, Burdett.
Darren, I don't know if I want to charge it out if I don't have that leather on my hand, to tell you the truth.
Have you seen the Bluegrass Barons play?
No.
The
I
vintage
really
baseball team here in
I'd
Lexington.
I'd love to see that.
The 3-2 on the way. High ball 4. And there are runners now at first and second with 2 outs, and it brings up Burdett. Burdett is 2 for 2. A triple in the first, a single in the 3rd. He drove in 2 in that first with that triple. Stole a base, and he scored 2 runs. So a pretty active night for the shortstop for Bryan Station.
Darren, what's the rules on visiting the mound?
Well, if you go out once, you don't have to bring the pitcher back with you. If you go out twice in the same inning, you have to bring him back with you. I don't know how many times they can go out in the game. I know in the majors now, I think it's 4 visits, period, before you have to move. You can't, because there were pitching coaches that wear a path out between their dugout and the mound.
Yeah, they're trying to speed the game up in the majors if they can, but that's not doing it. I'm telling you, they're saving fractions of seconds.
Yeah, you know how to save time.
Yeah, play 7 innings.
When a guy hits a home run, make him run the bases and not showboat around the bases. That'll save a little bit of time.
Or don't
and
even
not step out after every pitch.
Yeah, or don't even let him run the bases.
Yeah,
like they're doing with walks now, right?
They don't. Yeah, in the college game, they don't throw. They don't. Or in the majors, they don't pitch.
Right.
To me, that kind of takes it away a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Sometimes the mistakes are made.
Yep.
So.
It'll be Sam Burdett with runners at first and second. 2 men out here in the top half of the 4th inning. Fouls it back and out of play over the screen to the right side of home plate. Nothing in 1.
Beautiful night for baseball.
Oh, gorgeous night. And actually, we have a Bronco warming up down the third baseline. And I can't see those numbers from here. Gary and I, neither one brought our binoculars here. We forgot how high up we were going to be away from the field. The 0-1 coming from Howard to Burnett. Burdett stays in the box. Now will step out as Howard stepped back. Couldn't get on the same page of his catcher, Gross. Coach, I didn't know if you were aware of this, but Howard's an 8th grader, the pitcher on the mound for the Broncos, and also the catcher. Gross is an 8th grader.
That's amazing. Come on.
Yeah.
That can't be.
The 0-1, high and away, breaking pitch.
And didn't somebody have a 8th grader in right field too?
Yeah, I think Bryan Station's got it there. Cutright's an 8th grader. I told Gary, and I don't know how it was when you were this age as an 8th grader, but I was worried about having a pimple.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know? The 1-1. Right on the inside corner at the knees, a ball and 2 strikes, and Burdett mad at himself for not taking a hack at it.
So these 8th graders, they come up through the. I know they don't play baseball in middle school here, correct?
That I don't know. I know in the outlying areas in Woodford, like Scott and Woodford and Clark and places like that, they have middle school teams.
Well, they may here too. I just haven't followed it.
The 1-2 coming here as Burdett steps out again. Tell you what, another way to speed up baseball at the major league levels, these batters backing in and out of the box and taking forever.
Keep them in the box.
Yeah, they thought Sean Casey took a long time getting in the box. Pitch is on the lower side of the strike zone off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and both runners move up on the double steal.
That was a mistake.
Yep, Rice to third, Lynch to second. And we have 2 runners in scoring position. The go-ahead run 90 feet away with 2 gone. Need a 2-out hit from Burdett here. 2-2. Ball 3. We go 3-2. The guy, though, that was really bad about that would always step out and it would take him 5 minutes to get back in the box, Mike Hargrove, when he played for the Cleveland Indians. He had to adjust his bat and gloves 2 or 3 times. He'd pull up his pants, spit, and then he'd pull up the back of his jersey. This one chopped foul at the plate by Burdett.
And put a little extra pine tar on the bat.
Yeah, he did. And Casey took a long time, but my goodness, Mike Hargrove would literally take 5 minutes getting in the box. And he'd do it after every pitch, not just one pitch, but every pitch. The 3-2. Ball 4. And the bases are loaded.
This could be a crucial bat here for Bryan Station.
That's the 3rd walk of the night for Howard. He's hit a batter. He's only struck out 1. Through 3 2/3. Whoever the pitcher was in the bullpen for the Broncos has returned to the third base dugout. Bases loaded. Brings up Dalton Stanball, the leading RBI producer for Bryan Station. He takes the first pitch, ball out away from him. A ball and no strike. Stanball is 0 for 2. Strikeout swinging, ground ball, shortstop.
Looks like they're throwing him, even in the previous batters, throwing the ball low to him, trying to keep the bat. Whoop, not that time.
Pitch up and in. 2-0 now as Howard looks to be what we call nibbling right now. In other words, he's trying to be too fine. Trying to make the perfect pitch here instead of challenging the hitter. The 2-0. Ground ball, shortstop.
Nice.
Long throw out of the hole. Stretched by Faulkner. Can't hold on to it. Run scores.
That was tough.
Tough hop for Faulkner stretching out.
It was. It really was.
Shortstop Scarce might have been better suited to look at third. He had no offense to Mr. Pennington, but a little slower runner moving from second to third. He may have had a better shot, and the ball took him that way.
The ball took him to his right, yes, absolutely. That was a tough throw, though, with a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, the first baseman did a good job of trying to scoop it up, and just couldn't get it.
Infield hit for Stanball and an RBI. RBI number 18 for Stanball, and it's 7-6 Bryan Station. This one high in the air. The catcher, Gross, coming back behind home plate. Wind plays havoc with it. Nobody talking to him.
No, that's tough. That pitcher should have been right down there.
Yeah, the pitcher should have been down there helping out, covering the base. At least that's the third baseman's ball, because coming out of the crouch like that, locating the baseball, getting rid of the mask.
It's impossible. I don't see how they do it. I don't see how anybody does that, especially with the wind swirling like it is today. Wow. That was a tough one, Gary Ball.
I tell you, and it was hit a mile in the air, too.
you got the best catchers in the world sometimes can't judge those balls.
A ball and a strike to, this is Pennington at the plate. I'm sorry. This one lined down the left field line, but it'll be foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Howard looking to get out of a bases-loaded jam. He's given up 2 runs here in the inning.
I was watching some of the game from my phone over there on PrepSpin. Unbelievable camera work. Just amazing camera work.
We have the best, that's for sure. The 1-2 to Pennington. Hit again to the left, or to the right of Scarce. This time he does take the short route and goes to third for the force play. Inning over, but in the inning, 2 runs off of 3 hits. There were no Douglas errors, and there were 3 left. We're through 3.5 innings here in Lexington at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. 7-6 Bryan Station on the Mingua Beef Jerky PrepSpin Game of the Week.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
There are 50 Whitaker Bank locations serving Kentucky communities just like mine.
61 Whitaker Bank ATMs throughout Kentucky make getting quick access to cash easy.
Whitaker Bank staff serves the needs of nearly 70,000 Kentucky customers every day.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky. By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
Over 30,000 Kentuckians are saving time and money by doing their banking online with Whitaker Electronic Banking.
341,000 transactions were made on the go last year using the Whitaker Bank mobile app.
Over 340,000 text alerts were sent last year with Whitaker Bank text banking.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
Whitaker Bank Ballpark now completely engulfed in darkness as we've hit evening time here in Lexington. And it's Bryan Station and Frederick Douglass playing here at the home of the Legends, the 2018 Sally League champion Legends. And they did it in style on the road with a sweep last year and an outstanding. It looked like they had kind of hit the wall about midway through the second half of the season, Coach. And, boy, it looked like a totally different team when they got to the playoffs.
They absolutely did, and they could hit the ball. I mean, I tell you, they pounded the ball.
It'll bring up the first baseman, Gavin Faulkner, as we go 9, 1, and 2 in the order for Coach Eddie Brooks' Broncos. They trail now 7-6, and the first pitch is a strike.
78 miles an hour. I haven't seen him hit 80 yet.
Yeah. Home plate umpire down the press box here turned the music off. 0-1 to Faulkner. Pitch down and away.
Saw something the other night where I don't even remember what game it was, but somebody up in the press box was playing three blind mice, and the umpire kicked them out of the stadium.
They've done that before too. They did it here, as a matter of fact, at one time.
Yeah.
The 1-1 to Faulkner, swung on and foul tipped into the mitt.
Ejected the music player.
Yeah, they did that before.
That'd be embarrassing.
Well, as an umpire in Versailles, I threatened to throw my own mom out of the game. That was not fun. Swing and a miss. Faulkner retired on strikes. And it's one man out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. We go back to the top of the order and Hayden Hunt. Hunt is 1 for 2. 4 straight. Actually, 4 straight retired. Actually, for Rice, he retired the side in the order in the third, his first inning of work. So he came on and gave us our first 1-2-3 inning. This one is high and away from Hunt. Hunt has singled and scored in the first, and he flew out to center field back in the second inning. The 1-0 to Hunt. If you're Rice, you want to retire him, keep him off the bases because
you want to.
Hunt can scat.
Yeah, when he gets on first, he's going to get on second.
Yeah,
he's going to steal base.
Got some really good wheels. The 1-1 to Hunt. Chopped foul. That thing looked like it went between Hunt's legs when he fouled it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of movement on the ball. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't envy any of those batters out there. That ball is just moving.
A ball and 2 strikes. That's what they used to say about Nolan Ryan. He'd throw in the mid-90s, and the thing all of a sudden at the last minute would explode either right or left. This one lined into right field, a hit. Good piece of hitting from Hayden Hunt. He
Absolutely.
took the pitch on the outer half of the plate and drove it to the right side.
Kind of waited for it and just knocked it out there in the hole. Nice job. Now he's a threat now to go to second.
He is more than a threat. He is a guy that will scamper. He is 26 of 31 on the year in stolen bases.
That's amazing.
Like to meet the 5 catchers who threw him out, though.
He probably slipped.
Maybe. Or hit and run and sign missed by his batter. Scarce will take a pitch off the inner half. A ball and no strikes. And now Wallace, the catcher, will go out and talk to Rice.
It's amazing to me that these catchers still can control so much of the game. I mean, even these high school catchers, they study these batters. They know a lot about where the batter likes to pull the ball or hit the ball.
Well, you got a guy on this Douglas staff that's coaching at third, the head man that's been around baseball a long time. Swung on and missed by Scarce. Scarce has yet to have an official time at bat. However, Coach, he's walked twice and scored 2 times.
That's a pretty good night.
Yeah, pretty good night.
Yeah.
Shows he's patient in the 2-hole and knows the strike zone. This one grounded foul at third. Coach Eddie Brooks played here in Lexington.
He coached at Bryan Station.
I think he played a lot. Yeah, just a couple of years ago. I think he also did. He play at Lafayette? I believe he did.
I remember his name. I spent a lot of time at Bryan Station. I remember
a pretty good older brother, too, in the game of baseball by the name of Robin. Robin with the flat run. Check swing, and he's gone on strikes. Is Scarce. He went too far. So out number 1.
2.
That's right. Yep, I've had 2 strikeouts now.
Yeah,
it's third strikeout of the night for Rice in relief of Hobbs.
He's controlling the game right now.
He is really. He's cutting down the running game too. His Hunt now will probably be off and running with now the right-handed hitter Lowe up, who is 1 for 2. He was off and running with the pitch. Chopper over the mound. Shortstop charging, not in time. Nice play by Pennington to knock it down and keep it in front of him.
Absolutely, that run would have scored all the way from first base.
Yeah, with Hunt running,
if he didn't knock it down.
He goes to third. Burdett may have been better suited to putting that thing in his pocket because Lowe can run. It was a chopper over the mound. Burdett had to come charging, and he couldn't get there, and they did give him an infield hit.
Yeah, that was a tough one. With that speed, really tough.
See a lot of shortstops at the college level, and especially the professional level, that shortstop will charge like that and not have a play at first. He'll turn and look real quickly at second to see if the runner's paying attention to his coach at third. Catch him napping sometimes.
And that takes experience, too. It really does. Pretty impressed, though, with this pitcher. He's really keeping that ball in different places, moving it around.
Tell you what, in 10 years, this park has seen quite a bit of outstanding baseball between the legends, some games, college games in here, as well as high school games.
Yeah, they had one last night, didn't they? A college game?
Yeah, I think it was Kentucky and Northern played here. 1-all, no strikes now to Sargent, who is 1 for 2. Ground ball third base in the first inning, and then doubled and knocked into in the second. Fouled back into the screen. Tying run at third is Hunt. Lowe is over at first with 2 men out. 7 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Bryan Station. 6 runs, 6 hits, and an error for Douglas.
Pretty even game all the way around.
Yeah, a lot of offense, both teams being aggressive on the base paths. The 1-1 from Rice with the runner Lowe moving, and I think he thought there was a foul ball because he just stopped about 3/4 of the way to second base.
Yeah, if that catcher would have thrown it out there, it might have been some action.
Yeah, but if he doesn't get Lowe at second, Hunt with the speed he's got is standing on home plate looking at you. The 2-1 now on the way to Sargent. He checks swings and backs into the screen, fouls it off. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gary Ball will be back with Coach Mike Meehan, who will go through the 5th inning with Gary. And a good one here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. The 2-2. Hit him in the shoulder.
That one got away from him. 80-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yep, got him up in the shoulder. And the bases are loaded with Dane Key coming up. Key, the right fielder, 1 for 2. Strikeout and a single. That's the 42nd time a Bronco batter has been hit this season.
Coach Brooks teaching him to step in there and turn that shoulder, taking that
there.
lick. Yeah, hang
stay in there.
Stay in there.
If I heard that 2 words more than anything in my baseball career, stay in there. Somebody said 2 words in that 3. I said, no, not the way you say in Kentucky. Stay in there.
Yeah, I know.
1-0 as a pitch from Rice is high and away.
2 words I heard most of my baseball career was "you're fired."
The 1-0 off the inner half. 2-0 now. 2 balls, no strikes. Gary and I were talking about how good baseball is here in the Lexington area, but man, it is in the 11th region. Steal of home, and Hunt will score. Rice went to the windup, and Hunt took off, and he almost beat the ball to the plate.
I swear that was just a mistake by the pitcher who just forgot what he was doing. Just kind of relaxed and went to wind up, and that was it.
And
with
in
all
the
that speed,
yeah,
geez.
both runners also move up. Lowe to third, Sargent to second. And we're tied at 7.
Now, when the catcher been better off just realizing what was happening, just field that ball and throw one of those other runners out, do you think?
Well, actually, he would have probably been better suited. I mean, it looked like, to me, that Key was taken all the way. He could have attacked the baseball and had a shot at tagging out Hunt.
Maybe.
The 2-1. Breaking pitch, strike. 2-2 now with 2 outs. And Rice needs to make another pitch here to get out of the inning with only the 1 run. But somebody asked me what the most exciting play in baseball is. There's 2. The suicide squeeze and the straight steal of home. That's what we had, a straight steal. This one gets away from Rice and goes to the backstop. And the Broncos lead 8-7. That'll rattle a pitcher on a steal of home quicker than anything.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. You got to have a short memory. Put that stuff behind you, you know.
The wild pitch by Rice gives Douglas the lead at 8-7 here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
So a wild pitch and a pass ball are not considered errors in the book?
No.
They're not counted as errors?
No.
But they are errors?
Correct.
I never could figure that one out.
And then the other thing is that the more than a physical error, they are mental errors.
Yeah.
Usually on the pitcher or the catcher. The 3-2. Rice. Foul out of play by Key.
Rice, he needs to just bear down here. Keep that runner in third, get this out.
Somebody would have been better suited on the infield, or maybe the catcher Wallace, to go out and talk to Rice after the steal of home. The 3-2. Strike 3 call, outside corner to the knees. Good pitch.
Yeah, really.
Excellent pitch from Rice, inning over. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left.
Woo.
Through 4. It's 8-7. Frederick Douglass on the Mingua Beef Jerky. Game of the week brought to you by PrepSpin.
Fifth inning with Mike Meehan. Of course, he can do everything. Does the football with me on PrepSpin, now baseball. You're at a lot of Legends game, Coach.
I do. I love Legends. Linda and I, and my friend Russ Whitney comes off the bench when Linda can't make it, and we go to these games, enjoy every bit of it. They are tremendously, the Legends are just absolutely wonderful in making you feel at home. The kids, there's stuff for the children, there's things between the innings, there's contests. It's just so much fun. It really is.
8-7 is your score, as Douglas was able to get that lead back in the bottom half. Now we move to the 5th inning, top of the 5th, and I think we got a new pitcher out there, I think, don't we, Coach, for Douglas? Looks like number 10 is out there now. Noah Gray. Gray is, there's Gray's stats. He has pitched in 16 in the 3rd inning. He's given up 14 hits, 17 earned runs ERA, and his record is 0-3. So Noah Gray pitching now, and leadoff hitter here in the inning for Bryan Station. Looks like we got a.
That must be that's a sub 2, right?
Looks like it.
I don't have it.
But he got his number 6. Yeah, we don't have him either.
We don't have number 6. Apologize to the parents of number 6. Maybe somebody out there can come up here and let us know who number 6 is if you're watching it in the ball game.
Yep. Leading off the inning here, and he's facing, as we said, the new pitcher for Douglas is Noah Gray. So Gray on the mound. Gray's pitch, swing and a miss.
Nice pitch. Now they need to settle down here. Douglas has got that lead back, and they need to keep it if they can. Bryan Station, though, once they get people on base, Gary, they can run too.
1 ball and 2 balls and 2 strikes to the pinch hitter here in the top half of the 5th for Bryan Station. 8-7, Douglas on top. Here's the Gray pitch, and that's going to be a ball low.
Good eye that time for sure.
He doesn't know either. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Nice throw again. Good job.
So that brings up Kobe Wallace, the catcher. Flew out to the shortstop and the second baseman 0 for 2. Trenton Cutright on deck. 1 out here in the top half of the 5th inning with 8-7. Coach, me and that Miracle League you work with over there at Shillitoes is a great league you do over there.
The baseball league for adults. Miracle League has been going on for a long time. We actually
swing and a miss.
Began that program years ago. Kevin Weaver, a lawyer in town here, had the brilliant idea of setting up a Miracle League for children.
Gray's pitch, chopped down toward 3rd, and fielded down there by Dunn. Throws over for the bang, and the first baseman dropped the ball.
He called him out, though.
Yeah, he called him out. He held on the ball long enough to be out, so good play by Dunn down at 3rd.
Yeah, going back to Miracle League, the little kids, the little children on Saturday morning, we're in that season now. We have a spring season and a fall season. But I'd work with the adult Miracle League.
Yeah.
And we have people in that league who are at disadvantage in one way or another. Disabled.
Strike on the outside corner. 2 outs here in the inning. 8-7 as the lead belongs to Douglas. They got 2 in the bottom half of the 4th to take this 8-7 lead. And there's going to be a call strike on the inside corner. And I tell you, this Gray's coming in and throwing heat.
Yeah, and every time he throws, his hat pops off. That's pretty interesting.
Noah Gray.
Noah Gray. He probably plays football.
0-3. Pitch is going to be outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Anyway, Gary, Miracle League, adult Miracle League, every Tuesday from 11 to 2. Come over to Shillitoes, way in the back at the Miracle League field.
Yeah, we already said that. Yeah. Noah Gray strikes him out. He strikes out 2 of the 3 batters.
He did. Nice job.
As Darren's telling us it's 14, it was number 10 pitching, Gray. So Gray strikes out 2 of the 3 batters, and that does it for the 5th inning. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 8-7. Douglas on top of Bryan Station. We'll be back on the Mingua Beef Jerky Game of the Week. There's Rice warming up here before we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. He will face Ty Bryant, Cameron Dunn, and Tommy Howard here in the bottom of the 5th. The 6, 7, 8 hitters. Gary Ball, Mike Meehan, and William Warfield, the king of stream. And, boy, he always makes it look so good on Friday Night Football, doesn't he? The Mingua Beef Jerky game of the week. We'll have those back in August.
Oh, I can't wait. It'll be a really good football season. We're looking forward to it. But I'm amazed that he has, like, what, how many cameras here tonight?
I think there's, William, what is there, five cameras working tonight here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
Oh, it's just amazing. Like I said, I was watching on PrepSpin.com a little bit ago, and there were so many different shots. It's just like a pro game.
Rice checks in at his catcher, the wind and the pitch, and that's going to be a ball high to Ty Bryant, the second baseman. 323 batting average coming in. Cameron Dunn is on deck for Douglas as they lead 8-7 batting here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch is popped up toward the right side. Second baseman going back into, and the right fielder coming in, calls him off, and he misplayed the ball. And if he throws it into first row, and he does get it into first, but the young man gets back, and that was just misplayed by the right fielder.
It was. It looked like there was a communication problem there. In baseball, basketball, and every sport really, you have to have really good communication between the defensive player.
So that brings up Cameron Dunn.
Uh-oh.
There's always some Dunns at Dunbar. You had some Dunns over there, didn't you?
Dunns at Dunbar, Dunns at Bryan Station. When I was coaching football at Bryan Station many years ago, there were 2 or 3 extremely talented Dunns.
Bryan gets the lead at first, and that's going to be a call strike on the outside corner with Bryant leading out at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning with Douglas on top, 8-7. 8 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Douglas. 7 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors for Station. That's going to be a ball outside. What do you think of this baseball gig, Coach? You normally do football with me.
I wish I knew a little bit more about the strategy. You know, I watched some of these pro games, and you know the way they switch and move the infielders over and whatever you call that. What's that called when they take everybody's on this side.
The switch.
Yeah, well, whatever. And you know, I don't understand the reasoning behind that. I have heard that though they're talking seriously about doing away with that, not allowing that.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Dunn with. See what we got in the on deck circle. Waiting to see when the young man's just rehearsing his at bat up there. So Dunn at the plate, and that's going to be, did he go around? And home plate umpire is going to appeal, and they ring him up.
They called him out.
Yep.
Yeah, he did go around.
Yeah, that is Thomas Howard coming to the plate.
Right.
Howard started out as the pitcher.
He can swing the bat though.
1 out. That ball's going to be high to Howard with Gavin Faulkner on deck with Ty Bryant leading out at first base. 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dunn struck out. Howard is 1-1. Rice, and that's in the dirt, and I was going to say, what are they going to, the home plate umpire's calling, what's he calling at the plate? Yep, it's going to give him second.
Yeah, he gave him second, the ball.
So Bryan goes on down to second. Howard is 2 balls and 1 strike. Faulkner on deck here in the bottom half of this 5th inning.
Been a close game, and they've kept it close. Both teams are trading leads.
Ball fouled out of play down the first base line. Curves foul. Runs even, 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. You know, you got that runner out at second base. That could be a big run for Douglas.
It could absolutely be a big run, and you've got some speed there. If they get, he could easily score from second on a base hit.
Yeah, Bryan is a good base runner. And that ball's in the dirt, a little low. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Howard.
1 out.
And Gavin Faulkner is on deck. Here's the pitch, and ball hit out toward the shortstop, Burdett, and he bobbles it, and he'll be safe at first. That'll be an error on the shortstop.
That was a bad bounce, so it just skipped up right before it hit his glove. It skipped up and hit him in the chest, so that would be an error. You're right.
So Noah Gray coming up to the dish. Runners at the corners now, 1 out. We're going to have Justin Royal out of the station dugout. We may have a pitching change, although we haven't had any activity down in the station bullpen.
There's nobody warming up right now, and Rice has actually been doing real well.
He retired the first, 4 batters he faced.
It might have been 5, Gary, and then a couple mistakes. But I don't know if it's a good idea to change pitchers right now. But again, like you said, there's nobody warming up, so.
8-7 is your score. Douglas on top here in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
So when's the playoffs start?
The district tournament's get underway May 20th, so about 19 more days at different. The 43rd is going to be at Lafayette, 42nd at Henry Clay. I think the 41st that Darren covers is at Woodford County. So we'll have them all covered here on PrepSpin, and then the regional tournament gets underway Saturday, the 25th, I believe.
Right, and the championships are going to be played where?
The championships are right here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, June 5th through the 8th.
Very nice, very good.
5, 6, 7, and 8 to have quarterfinal round action on the 5th and 6th, and then semifinals Friday night, championship Saturday night. 8-7.
So who's strong in the state?
Tate's Creek is number 1 in the state right now. St. X is right up there. Trinity's up there. Danville is a very good team.
Any power in Western Kentucky?
McCracken. I mean, there's some good ball clubs in Western Kentucky. So at the dish is Noah Gray. He digs in, Rice in there, and that's going to be a ball high. So 1 ball, no strikes to Noah Gray. 1 out here. Runners at the corners. Ty Bryan is down at third.
He may try to bunt that guy in. Oh, that's all good.
Bunts behind home plate, foul ball.
Yeah, that was a. Whew.
Gray trots back.
Yeah. That ball was bunted. If it would have been another test for the catcher if that ball would have come down a little closer.
Yeah, we already saw him. I think earlier in this game, this play ball was hit high up into the lights.
It did, and the wind took it a little bit, took it back toward the pitcher, and that was a tough play.
Yep. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gray. Rice checks the runners, pitch, and that's bunted back to the pitcher. He looks at home, throws to first for 2 outs, and then they hold the runner down to third, but the runner does move to second base.
That was a really nice job of holding the runner, too. Excellent. These high school kids, a lot of times, they're really well coached. And they practice those things over and over and over.
So 2 outs. That brings up Hayden Hunt. They're going to automatically pass him. So he'll go down to first base, get the automatic pass. That will load him up for Julius Scarce. So Scarce will be up there, and he did score a couple of runs on walks back in the first couple of innings, so he's been productive tonight. He did strike out his last time. Michael Lowe waits on deck. Bases juiced here for Broncos. Bases full of Broncos. With Scarce at the play. Rice's pitch and ball hit out towards short. Shortstop going back, and he can't make the grab. It drops in. Here comes 1 run. Here comes the throw to the plate. Second run, and it's in. And they look down to third.
There.
Nobody covering as 2 runs score for the Broncos, and they now lead it 10-7.
That was close to being the 3rd out. It really was. That ball was hung up in the air. And I think the shortstop, was it the shortstop? Yeah, he tried to reach up with his bare hand to catch it. It got a little bit over his head.
So good job of hitting by Scarce. He gets 2 RBIs on that. He moves down to second on the throw. So runners at second and third now. 2 outs here in the 2 runs in for Douglas. They lead 10-7. That ball's high and tight to Michael Lowe. Well, we remember him from football, don't we?
Absolutely.
Lowe, he was a great receiver.
Tremendous receiver.
Big 3rd down clutch guy. You just throw him the ball, and he's going to get it for you and get you that big first down. 10-7, Douglas, and Lowe looks at it high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes.
I'm really happy to see these kids play multiple sports.
Yeah.
When you're in high school, you have an opportunity to play, to have fun, and get involved with teammates and everything. Why not do it?
2 balls and no strikes to Lowe. Pitch, and that's going to be a call strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to Michael Lowe with Ryan Sargent.
Rice put something on that ball.
He did.
Oh, man.
That was a breaking ball that hit the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. 2 runs in here in the 5th. Rice, the pitch, and that's going to bounce up. That gets away from the catcher, and coming in a little bit late, and the catcher can't grab it. Run scores. If the catcher would have grabbed that cleanly and thrown it, he would have been out.
Well, the first thing, he couldn't find it, and that hurt him right there. That caused a hesitation. But then you're right. When he went to get it, he just couldn't get it up off the grass.
So Hunt comes in to score. Scarce moves to third base. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike to Lowe, and there's 3 runs in the inning. 11-7 Douglas.
Big inning so far. Big half inning for the Broncos.
3 balls and 1 strike to Michael Lowe. Rice checks a runner. Scarce down to third. Wind to pitch and trying to bunt his way on is Lowe, and that's a strike. Got a piece of it. Good job by the catcher to hang on that one.
Absolutely.
So coming up in the 6th inning, Darren Douglas will give you the call. Back and forth we go.
I appreciate this. It's a lot of fun for me to come up here and do this. I haven't had the opportunity ever.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Michael Lowe. The pitch, full count, and he chops it, just kind of protecting the plate there, wasn't he, Coach?
Yes, he was. I think that's exactly what he was doing. He stuck that bat out there and just wanted to try to foul it off.
So full count. 2 outs. 11-7. Douglas with 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. They're taking 11-7 lead, and that ball's inside, ball 4.
Well, put him on first, and that means he's going to be on second in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and he's off and running.
There he is now.
And he's looking at the run at third, and the pitcher's going to throw to the plate high and throws it away, and the run scores. It's 12-7.
No, he's going to third.
And going to third.
Don't throw it.
Yeah, will be Low, and he'll go into third coasting as Scarce came in to score. So that was not a good play by Bryan Station.
No, it wasn't. And that was one of those things that has been planned, too. That runner intentionally got halfway to second and just stopped. He said, go ahead and play me, see what happens. We got a runner on third. We want to get him in. We'll see what happens. So what do you do in that case? I think what you do is run at that.
Yeah, run right at the player, which, run right at Low and make him and tag him out. But the thing is, if you don't tag him out before that run gets across the plate, it counts.
Well, you run at him, but you still keep an eye on what's going on at third.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
So Low's at third, or another run in. It's 12-7. And the pitch is called a strike to Ryan Sargent, designated hitter. Got an RBI in the 2nd inning. Walked in the 4th. Grounded out to third. Ball pulled down to a third, and that's going to be a base hit. Another run scores. It's 13-7.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a really hot inning for him. But you know what, Gary, that was the first ball that was hit hard against Rice in this inning.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But all of them were little picky hits and a couple little errors and throws. And it made a big difference.
So 5 runs in for Douglas. They lead 13-7.
They're a good ball club.
Dane Key batting. That's going to be a call strike to Dane Key with Ty Bryant coming in the on-deck circle.
They're getting all these runs with 2 outs.
Yeah, there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, we got a little pinch runner? Or what's going on here? Yeah, right? No.
Glove. I think he's going down to get him a batter's glove. Ty Bryant in the on-deck circle. Now he's okay. He got the batter's glove. And at the dish is Dane Key. (13-7). Douglas on top, and Rice's pitch. Ball pulled foul down first base side. 2 outs.
Still 2 outs, Gary. It's been 2 outs.
But he's ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes to Key. So Rice, we might see a new pitcher for Station in the 6th inning. probably kept him in a little bit too long.
Probably.
Key waiting at the dish, left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch, and that bounces up there. Good block. The catcher can't handle it, and going into second base safely will be Sargent. Stolen base.
Douglas is a very opportunistic base running team.
Yeah, that's the thing that Eddie Brooks says is we're always going to be running. We're going to keep them on their toes. So
Pretty
one
impressive.
ball, 2 strikes to Key. 2 outs, runner out at second. 5 runs in the inning. Here's the Rice pitch, and that's going to just miss outside. A little bit outside, so evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I was out at that Miracle League yesterday watching Coach Meehan do his Miracle League work, and that was a great time I had out there.
I appreciate it.
Ball hit out short, and it gets through. And coming around second and round third to score, and base hit off the bat of Key, and that will score another ball, and that's going to be Sargent, I believe, who scored, wasn't it, Coach?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that ball was a fastball. It just hung on him, hung up in the strike zone, and jumped all over. That was his second really good hit this inning.
6 runs in the inning.
Making a switch, I think.
Yeah, we got a switch coming down. So with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the inning with 6 runs in, we're going to have a new pitcher, I believe, for Station, for Rice. So we'll have a time. There's another run coming in to score for Douglas there, as we saw Sargent score. A lot of highlights, as you might well expect in this inning for Douglas. They got 14 runs, 9 hits. And the new pitcher, I believe that is
22.
Yeah. Cutright. Trenton Cutright is the pitcher now. So we'll tell you about Mr. Cutright. He is pitched in 2 innings, given up 4 walks, given up 2 earned runs, 5 runs, 2 of them earned, ERA of 7.0. So Cutright in for the defenders, right-hander.
What a position to come in the game, you know. Does it say what year he is? The 8th grader?
Yeah. Cutright is an 8th grader.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, he sure is, Coach.
8th
Trenton
grader.
Cutright, 8th grader.
They're pulling him out, I'm telling you. It's amazing to me that 8th graders can play in high school baseball games.
Yep. You see it a lot on the girls' side. You see a lot of 8th graders playing basketball. So Cutright in on the mound for Bryan Station. It's 14-7. Of course, if you're wondering about the rules in high school baseball, a team has to have a 10-run lead after 5. So Bryan Station trying to hold them down here because you don't want Douglas to get a couple more runs here in the bottom of the 5th. They lead 14-7. So Cutright in, and it's going to be a ball low and a throw out to second. Gets over the second baseman and thought about running, but staying right there.
Yeah, nice job by the center fielder coming up to cover that. I was watching that catcher warming up, and he was throwing that ball right there every time to the plate, to the bag. I don't know what happened there.
That's going to be a ball a little bit outside. Dane Key is out at second. That's Ty Bryant. Isn't that Bryan at the plate? I'm trying to see the number on the young man. Yep, 23. Ty Bryant. 14-7. Cutright. Wind the pitch, and ball hit out toward left field, hit well. Left fielder going back, and center fielder coming over and drops the ball. Coming in to score will be the 15th run.
Didn't you think that was
and that was Key coming in to score.
That looked like another communication problem to me. I mean, is that the center fielder's ball?
Well, center fielder, called him off, and then as he nonchalanted the ball is what happened, and he dropped it out in center field. So it's 15-7 with a runner out at second base.
That wasn't on the pitcher, I'll tell you.
And that's going to be Ty Bryan out there with that. I guess that's an error on the center fielder.
Right. And 5 errors, Jerry, I don't know what the standard is in high school games, but that's a whole lot of errors.
Yes, it is. Cameron Dunn, the third baseman, will be at the plate. He's still got Ty Bryan out at second. Here in the bottom of the 5th, 7 runs in this inning, Coach.
Two more runs, and we got 10-run rule.
Yep. Pitch, and that's going to be a call strike to Cameron Dunn. Batting here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Darren Douglas will give you the call of inning number 6. And if needed, I'll be back for inning number 7 if it's needed. You never know.
You never know.
15-7.
Team gets hot, half inning.
Cut right to the plate. That's going to be a ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. A lot of this damage has been done with 2 outs, Coach.
Absolutely. It's been 2 outs forever.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pitch, and that's going to be way outside.
Nice
ball
job.
2.
Nice job by the catcher.
Yep, you got way out there.
He did.
Just 3rd appearance by Trenton Cutright. Wind the pitch, and ball hit out over third base, and they'll bring him around third, and here comes the throw to the plate, and he'll be safe, and throw gets away from the catcher, and the run came in. Bryan came in to score, and now you got that winning run out at second base. If that run scores, Coach, this game's over.
It's ball game. You're right. When you watch in football, when these receivers go to catch the ball and they take their eye off the ball to watch them. Well, that's what happened with the catcher. He took his eye off the ball at the last second to see where that runner was going to second.
So Thomas Howard at the plate, fouls it over the right side, out of play. Cameron Dunn gets a lead out at second.
I think there's a lot of pollen in the air tonight.
There sure is. I'm sneezing. I've had about 3 or 4 of them.
Coughing.
Good job tonight, Coach, working with us on baseball.
I'm loving it. It's fun.
And we'll have football, of course, this fall, and on PrepSpin, leading digital network in the state of Kentucky.
Well, I'll wait to see if I get my pink slip from William Moorfield after this game.
I don't think so. 16-7, 8 runs in for Douglas. Cutright's pitch, and that's going to be a call strike on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes to Thomas Howard. Cameron Dunn out at second. That represents the winning run in this ball game.
It was a close game, real close game
until this inning. Yep. And that's going to be a call, strike 3 as he rings up. So in the inning, they get 8 runs.
Wow.
On 4 hits. They leave a man on base as we go to the 6th inning. It is Douglas 16, Bryan Station 7 here on the Mingua Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week.
Whether you're older
or younger,
or maybe even somewhere in between,
we've got that perfect smile with Invisalign that'll last a lifetime. For you.
For you.
For you.
What's your starting 5? How about this one? Mild, hot, Cajun, barbecue, and teriyaki. It's the flavors of Mingua Beef Jerky, each one handmade from Ronnie Mingy's all-natural recipe using top-quality beef. That's what makes Mingua Beef Jerky stand out. Take it from me, Tom Leach. Pick up a package today, and if you don't see it, ask for it. And check them out online at minguabeefjerky.com. That's M-I-N-G-U-A beefjerky.com. And go there today to see their newest product, Mingua Beef Jerky Meat Sticks in mild, hot, or honey barbecue.
From where you are now to earning your degree, whether you're looking for part-time work or the gateway to a full-time career, you'll get there with UPS. Through the UPS Kentucky Loop program, package handlers will get up to 100% of their tuition paid and housing provided. Great job and great opportunity delivered in one package by UPS. Apply today at upsjobs.com or text LOOP to 33588.
Here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Darren Douglas along with Gary Ball. And Gary, we get to do this quite a bit during the baseball season. We don't get to do it as much during football and basketball, but we have a good time doing this. People ask me if it's a job. I said, nope. It's a lot of fun.
It is. Labor of love.
It'll be the top of the order for Bryan Station, who find themselves down 9 now, 16-7. Went from 8-7 heading into the bottom of the 5th, but then 12 Broncos came to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning, and 9 runs later, they're up.
They actually had the winning run out at second base and done, and they played him. It's over.
This one lifted high and out of play behind home plate. Tyler Hawkins is at the plate. He is 1 for 2, a double, a run scored, strikeout looking in the second, then reaching the fielder's choice in the fourth and scored as well.
Noah Gray is 0-3 on the season, 7.29 ERA.
Hit hard up the middle, off to his left goes the shortstop Scarce. On over to Howard, who's moved from the pitching mound to first base, and there's one gone.
I'll tell you what, this Scarce kid can really pick it at shortstop. He's covers the ground, good ground, got a good arm there at short. Seen him a number of good plays tonight.
Of course, they have one of the best infield teachers in the game as their head coach in Eddie Brooks. He played
pretty good instructor.
Second base, a little bit of shortstop as well in his time. Predominantly a second baseman, but could flat pick it.
And your cousin from Bryan Station, Dougie Flynn.
Not too bad.
Could play it pretty good.
Played behind a couple of Hall of Famers, didn't he? Well, one of them should be in the National Basketball Hall of Baseball. A couple of them actually should be.
Yeah.
Joe Morgan is. But Dave Concepcion, I think, revolutionized the shortstop position long before Ozzie Smith came along.
Yeah, but I'm not even a Cardinal fan, but Ozzie Smith was pretty darn
Ozzie
good.
took it to another. But I'm saying Ozzie took it to another level.
Yeah, he did.
The 2-1. This one lined into right center field. It'll find the grass and roll into the gap. Hunt with that speed, though, cuts it off deep in right center field. His throw is offline. And Rice is now 3 for 4 as he has a double.
Yep, good job. Good bit of hitting there by Rice as he hit it out to right center field. I'll tell you what, Hunt did a great job of getting over there, cutting that ball off and getting it in from the outfield. If he could have made a strong throw, he might have been able to get Price at second.
Well, he showed that speed off by cutting it off in the gap over there. So Rice at second with 1 out. And the pitch, a strike on the outside corner to Dylan Lynch, who is 0 for 1.
With shortstop Sammy Burdett on deck.
And Lynch lined to the second baseman Bryant in the first inning, hit by a pitch and scored a run in the third, then walked, was left stranded at third in the fourth. High, 2-1 now to Lynch. If you're Eddie Brooks, you're telling Noah Gray, don't go out there and try to get too cutesy. You got a 9-run lead.
Yeah.
Let your defense work for you.
You know, this has been a treasure for these young men to play at Whitaker Bank Ballpark tonight. You know, this home of the minor league team, the Legends.
Pitch on the outside corner, a fastball, ball and 2 strikes now to Lynch.
They don't play the All-A here anymore. The All-A tournament moved to Owensboro.
Yeah.
But the state tournament will be here in June.
It's kind of a little different format, too, for the state tournament. High, ball.
That was above his head.
Yep. It'll bring in only 8 teams instead of the 16. It'll be a semi-state between the region and the state. I believe the 11th region matches up with the 12th region this
which
year.
is looking to be Danville.
Danville's a pretty good team. This one hit out of play and out of sight into the parking lot.
Boyle County in that region as well.
Yeah, Danville's still the class of that region, though, to be honest with you. West Jessamine cannot be forgotten about, even though they got a new coach.
Lincoln County
playing a little bit better. Lincoln's having a down year. I think the team to really watch out of that 12th might be Southwestern.
Southwestern, Pulaski.
This one hit in the air behind the plate. Gross coming back, and the wind played a little havoc with it. That's not Gross behind the plate. Looks like number 6? chest protector straps right across the middle of it. I can't
Dunn
see.
Cameron Dunn is number 6.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Dunn still at 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
Might be number 8. We have one.
Hayden Hunt.
No, that wouldn't be Hunt. He was out in the center field.
Yeah, it might be R.J. Parks, number 9.
Could be R.J. This one lined right to third baseman Dunn. He'll throw and double up the runner at second base in Price. That ball was hit on the nose by Lynch. And it turns into a line drive double play as Dunn gloved it, threw back to second to catch Rice off the bag. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left. 5.5 in the books, 16-7. Douglas on the Mingua Beef Jerky Game of the Week.
I work really hard, but I don't make a whole lot of money. And now, my hours are being cut back at work. I've gotten so far behind on my bills, I feel like I'll never get caught up.
We're Atkinson, Sims, and Kermode.
We're not going to judge you.
We've come up with a way to get you started for less.
Start your bankruptcy for as little as $78 now. The consultation is free.
859-CALL-ASK.
In Lexington and now in London.
Introducing Convenience Invisalign by Doctors Durbin, Morris, and Garner.
Why would you trust your smile to one of those online do-it-yourself kits?
Our goal is to make your dream smile a reality. Schedule your 3D scan today.
The future of health.
The pitcher and number 9 hitter in the current alignment for Coach Eddie Brooks' Broncos.
Facing Mr. Cutright.
It'll be Cutright on the mound for his first full inning of work. It's been Hobbs, Rice, and now Cutright for Coach Justin Royal's defenders. It brings up Gray. What did Gray do his first time up? I missed him last inning.
He grounded back to the pitcher.
Grounded back to the pitcher. So Gray is 0 for 1. And it'll be Hunt and then Scarce for Coach Eddie Brooks. They need a run to end it on the run rule.
Yep.
Pitch is high.
16-7. 16 runs, 10 hits for Douglas. 7 runs, 9 hits for Station.
I think they've actually taken up the 15-run rule after 3 in baseball at the high school ranks.
Yes,
now.
they have.
So
You're right. You're right.
Yes.
Yep, they adapted that, I believe, a couple years ago.
Maybe. I can't remember. Breaking pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes to Gray.
You don't want to lose Gray because you put him on base, and then you go to the top of the order. If you want to get this number 9 hitter.
He brings up, well, it'll bring up Hunt. The pitch strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike now to Gray. Hayden Hunt's had a pretty good night. 2 for 3, a walk, 3 runs scored, several stolen bases. This one hits right off the roof.
Yep, he's got that average up over 400 now with those 2 hits.
To the right of where we sit here in the press box at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. The 2 balls, 2 strike count. Gray takes strike 3 call in the inside corner. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now we go to Mr. Hunt.
I was checking out the radar, Gary, and that storm that went through Louisville is rain's headed this way, but not the heavy-duty stuff that hit Louisville.
Yep. 35 hits now for Hunt on the season.
First pitch off the inner half.
That does lead his ball club. Scarce has 30 hits. He has 31 now. I'm sure he got a hit tonight. He might have had 2 hits tonight.
Scarce has 1.
1 hit, so 31 for Scarce.
Pitch is down from Cutright to Hayden Hunt.
You might as well say if you walk Hunt that he's going to be in scoring position.
He's going to be at least on second base.
Yeah.
After 1 pitch. This one hit in the air, back into left field. The left fielder Rice going back, still going. Step on the warning track 1, and
he gave that a ride.
And the wind kind of caught it as well a little bit and took it, and Rice
that was back in the warning track out there. He got
Tracked
that
it
up, and that wind kind of pushed that ball down out there in left field, and the flag's blowing out that way. That's 2 outs, but Hayden Hunt nearly ended this ball game with one swing of the bat.
Got it out on the end of the bat a little bit. Didn't get all of it, but he gave it a ride, and Rice, one step on the warning track, ran it down. There's 2 gone. Brings up Julius Scarce. Scarce officially tonight's 1 for 2. He's walked twice, scored a run in both the first and second innings.
Yeah.
Then struck out swinging in the 4th. And then that 9-run 5th inning.
8 runs.
Yeah, it was 8 runs. Excuse me, can't count there. 8 runs. He singled, knocked in 2, and scored himself. Pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike to Scarce now. Yeah, 8. Can't count.
Well, it's out there on the scoreboard.
Well, I know, but I always like to count it myself to make sure I have it right in my scorebook.
Gotcha.
Breaking pitch
That's always
is a strike
important.
on the outside corner.
It's important that you get it right in
Yes,
the
sir.
scorebook.
Yes, sir. The 2-2 to Scarce, fouled out a play to the left. Gary, somebody texted me while I was down off the air with you and Coach me and doing an inning together, and asked me, well, you said who inspired you to get into broadcasting. Who inspired you, Gary?
There's a little
flare.
pop-up, a little flare ball caught
by the shortstop.
And I would say my
Burnett.
biggest, when I was in college, my biggest inspiration was Kaywood Ledford. He inspired me to get into broadcasting. My high school basketball, baseball coach was Jim Connor at Boone County. He inspired me. I announced the Boone County baseball games when I was a senior in high school, and he talked me into doing that. So that's how I got my start. But it's been a joy, and that by the way, that ended that 6th inning, 16-7.
Yep, 16-7. 3 up, 3 down. We move to the top of the 7th inning. Broncos in control on the Mingua Beef Jerky Game of the Week.
Yes, sir.
The future of healthcare seems dark at times, but for patients in Kentucky with diagnostic imaging needs, there's a place with clarity and a compassionate staff. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI provides quality patient care while saving you hundreds to thousands of dollars as compared to hospital-based centers. Remember, for your medical imaging needs, you have a choice. Lexington Diagnostic Center and Open MRI.
We're back here for the top of the 7th inning for Bryan Station. They're down to 3 outs here. If they don't get 9 runs, then it'll be a Douglas victory. Douglas on top 16-7. Noah Gray still on the mound. He's in his 3rd inning of work here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Leading off the 7th will be Sammy Burdette, then Dalton Stamball, and then Matt Pennington for Bryan Station as they bat here in the top of the 7th. 16-7, Douglas on top. Noah Gray, the right-hander. He's done a pretty solid job since coming in.
He has. We got a lefty working in the bullpen just in case Gray may need him.
His pitch was high to Burdette, the shortstop. Got an RBI back in the 1st. Scored a run and got a single in the 3rd inning. And a base on balls in the 4th. He's been very effective at the plate.
His base running on a couple of occasions has been suspect. Got doubled off.
Fouls that one out of play down the first base side. So count 1 ball, 1 strike with Burdette leading off the top of the 7th inning. And without 9 runs, Douglas will get the victory. Frederick Douglas, I tell you what, they look like they could be a spoiler in this district maybe.
Yeah, they hit the baseball.
They sure do. There's the pitch, swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up to that one. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Burdette. Stamball waiting on deck for Station.
I was going to say Eddie, just like his father, when he coached Eddie, coming up through the ranks of Lexington baseball at the youth level, always had somebody warming up in the bullpen in the last inning, no matter what the score was.
That ball was low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sam Burdette. Played a good shortstop tonight.
Made a nice catch there at the end of the 6th inning on a little humpback liner.
Hits a ball down to short. Fielded there by Scarce. Throw over to first for the out. So 6-3. Scarce throws out his counterpart. Says, hey, you want to hit it over here? Do you play short? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you out. One out.
Two things there that I want our viewers to realize what they just saw. Scarce did a nice job of getting the baseball surrounding it. Came up on a tough hop. He took it in the chest, didn't try to glove it. Went ahead and took it off his chest, down into his glove.
Yep.
Made sure he had the baseball with a couple of nice little steps, and then over the top. Didn't drop down. Over the top, perfect strike to his first baseman, Howard.
Stand ball at the dish. 275 hitter on the season. Struck out in the first. Got an RBI in the third. Hit the short 6-3 in the fourth. Hits that one out toward left field, and it curves just foul. Stand ball, by the way, as we've kind of mentioned a couple times, leading RBI guy for Station with 17 RBIs. It wasn't even close.
No, and you look, and he's not a big fella at all. Probably one of
the next guy to his 17 RBIs was Pennington, Lynch, and Hawkins had 6.
Yeah. These guys are getting on ahead of Stand ball, and he's actually driving them in.
Yeah, that's what's happening. 2 balls and 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. With Douglas on top, 16-7. That's going to be a ball high. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Best little guy you've ever seen play the game of baseball?
Patek.
Freddie Patek.
Did you think he had me stumped on that one?
I was just saying the best little man. He wasn't actually.
And he played for this team,
the Kansas City Royals. Sure did.
Freddie Patek. He was all of 5'5".
They listed him 5'7", but he came out after he retired.
Come on.
He was 5'5". Well, Charles Barkley's supposed to have been 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
All the way through college, it turned out he was 6'4".
Yeah, 6'5", 6'4", exactly.
6'4", and he said he was a trim 275. He was a biscuit short of 290 coming through Auburn.
Matt Pennington, 340 average up there, and that's going to be a ball inside with Stand ball leading out at first base.
Now, the good news for Gray is he's going to have a little bit of a leash because he's got a 9-run lead.
Exactly. There's a pitch. Pennington fouls it back to the screen.
But the bad news for him is his coach over there won't have a very long leash. He won't tolerate with a 9-run lead nipping and trying to be too fine around the corners. He wants you to be aggressive.
Yep, Burdett let off this inning, grounding out to Scarce at short. Stand ball. Here's a ball hit over short. He grabs it and fires over to first and off the line, and he'll be safe back in there. But 2 outs. That's a good grab out there by Scarce.
Very nice grab as Pennington hit that one hard.
Yep, 2 outs, and that brings up 2 strolls up there now for Station. It's going to be number 37.
Don't have a clue if we got that one or not. I don't know. I've tried to find all kinds of numbers, and I left my notebook over there on the other side, so who knows. I'm going to have to get on my boy Justin. I'm telling me Buckeyes, you don't know how to put numbers on rosters.
I'm looking on this.
I can do that because I've known the guy for 10 years, guys. So
right.
For anybody freaks out, I've known Coach Royal for 10 years. So.
I mean, on the Station.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
30. I mean, there's no
37.
There's
no 37, so who knows?
Okay.
We apologize for folks out there who are family members, especially mothers, of number 37. We have no idea who he is.
Yep. He's pinch hitting with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Gray's pitch inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I will make this promise, though. If Station's able to get to the regional tournament, we will have that number.
Yep. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. 16-7 Douglas on top here in the top half of the 7th inning. Noah Gray checks a runner, the pitch, and that's going to be a ball high. Full count.
Tell you, in about a week, I'm going to have a really good softball game on the radio side of things on PrepSpin.
Who you doing?
How about the
Ball
Woodford
4.
County Lady Yellow Jackets and the Scott County Lady Cardinals?
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
It's been a good one for about the last 7 years. Those 2 teams have shared.
Cloby Walters comes up there after the base on balls to the mystery player. So he goes down to first.
Yeah, those 2 teams have shared going to the state tournament out of the 11th region for softball.
So Cloby Walters No balls, and that was a called strike. Walters hitting here for Wallace. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Ball fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Walters.
So be looking on PrepSpin for that game coming up a little bit later.
Yep. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And that's going to be call strike 3. Rings up Walters on the strikeout to end the ball game. So Douglas wins it 16-7 over Bryan Station. Victory for Douglas Broncos, 16-7 here, as they get a good job by Gray to come in and finish it for the Broncos. They win 16-7, and I tell you, it was at bottom of the 5th when they played at 8 that broke this game open there.
Yeah, we had one of those games that was last man standing, or what I like to call the biggest game of chicken on the baseball field. Who's going to blink first? And,
yep.
Unfortunately for Bryan Station, they were the team that blinked, but it was an offensive onslaught in that 5th inning for Eddie Brooks' Broncos that iced this game and put it away.
Yep.
And a pretty good job of pitching on a big stage for an 8th grader for Coach Brooks' group and Thomas Howard. Going to see some really good things out of him if he stays healthy and
keeps maturing, getting stronger.
He's already got a really good head on his shoulders, understands what he's doing out there in the middle of the diamond on the rubber, and really is going to develop his off-speed stuff more and feel more comfortable in that in certain spots. And he's going to also be able to trust his defense a little bit. We saw some really good defense tonight from both teams, but specifically from the Broncos, who really flashed some leather at times on Station.
Good working with you tonight,
Always
partner. Good job, Darren Douglas.
Always good, buddy.
For William Warfield, the king of stream, we call him here at PrepSpin. Great work back there with all the cameras and the work back there in the producing this game. This is Gary Ball from Whitaker Bank Ballpark. The final score, the Frederick Douglass Broncos 16 and the Bryan Station Defenders 7. Until our next Mingua Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week, for Darren Douglas, Gary Ball. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on PrepSpin.com.